soon.
Schreiber's gonna have to make something happen here. He shoots and scores! What?
Can a legend be made in 48 minutes? It's less than one turn around the clock. But this game's clock has already been running for months. 16 weeks these teams have battled. Through overtime wins.
Levi Anderson sends the Whips to the championship.
And jaw-dropping goals.
Stop the madness!
Momentum is in these minutes. Make that 1,122 minutes. Full of blood, sweat, and tears. But for these 48 minutes, every second matters.
Clock is winding down. Caraway's gonna get a look. Save made by Thompson.
A single moment can create a lasting legacy.
Gets topside Rambo scores!
The 2024 PLL Championship. Where legends are made.
And welcome to the PLL Cash App Championship on ESPN. And welcome to Philadelphia on the banks of the Delaware, where today the Utah Archers can become just the second team in league history to go back-to-back. The only other team to do it, their foe today, the Maryland Whipsnakes, on the hunt for their third Premier Lacrosse League title. Here's how we got here. The Whips have won 6 games in a row dating back to the regular season, which matches the longest win streak in PLL history. Speaking of history, the Utah Archers held the Carolina Chaos to just 1 goal in the semifinals last week in New York. That is a record for outdoor lacrosse. It's an outstanding matchup, and we cannot wait to watch it with you. Happy Sunday, everybody. Thanks for spending some of it with us, alongside Paul Carcaterra and Ryan Boyle up here in the booth. I'm Drew Carter. We'll check in with Quinn Kesnick on the field in just a moment. And Cark, this is a fantastic showdown. You got 2 real blue bloods of this PLL. Let's start with the Archers. What a performance last week.
Well, you look at the Archers big picture-wise, too. I mean, they're defending champs, but they did it on the back of Tom Schreiber, the world's greatest lacrosse player at the moment. He's injured. He's out for the season, so I think they want to play for their captain, but also prove to the rest of the lacrosse world they could win without him.
And if you look at Whipsnakes, their 4th championship in 6 years. They'd be the first franchise to win their 3rd. Do you start using the dynasty word here, Drew?
Bill Belichick is in the house, so maybe we do start using that dynasty word. But the Archers, Clark, they've done it with offense before. Last week they did it with defense.
Suffocating defense. They beat the Carolina Chaos 10-1, which is a record in professional lacrosse, not just the playoffs, overall. And Brett Dobson, their goalie, had 18 saves. He saved 95% of the shots, which is also a record in pro lacrosse. The defense, the perimeter defense, with the caused turnovers, it allowed their offense to get some transition looks. And I thought this defense was a masterclass in terms of harassing opponents and eliminating all dodging options. And Grant Amon on the other side of the field has filled in for Tom Schreiber as the guy admirably. He started with a dodge from the outside, presenting a big-time threat as a scorer, but his passing, he's one of the greatest passers in the game right now. He led the league in assists in 2021. Now he's the leading goal scorer from the midfield in the entire league.
They're trying to win a championship without a key piece on offense for the 2nd year in a row. Here's their lineup powered by Ticketmaster.
Watch Graham Hossack. He's a big lefty. He likes to get physical. I anticipate him defending the Whips. Matt Rambo. That is a big boy matchup. Trey LeClaire, for my money, is the most underrated player in the league. A right-handed outside hammer of a shot. You got the righty shooter up top with LeClaire, and you got the lefty shooter with Matt O'Keefe stretching the defense. Connor Fields is a human highlight reel, and Matt Moore's been in and out this season. His health always in question.
Fields was out for the championship last year. They still won it against the Water Dogs. RB for the Whipsnakes. They start 2-4, coming off a 4-6 season, their worst in the PLL. After the All-Star break, everything changed.
Yeah, you wondered going to the year, was this going to be a rebuild? No, it was a reload, and you got to credit Jim Stagnita for all the movements that he did. The in-season trades, most notably for Levi Anderson and Ryan Conrad. You can see right there, 2-4, the 6-game winning streak. The offense has jumped off the charts. They've played lockdown defense. They've played fantastic buttoned up lacrosse across the board. And it starts with the Rookie of the Year, TJ Malone. He was the steal of the draft, got him in the 3rd round, and all he's done produce game after game. He leads the playoffs in points. He can create his own shot, and he can also distribute the rock. The other rookie running mate, Levi Anderson, picked him up via a trade. The most lethal move in lacrosse right now is the Levi Anderson swim dodge. There he buried one early against Atlas. He had a hat trick. He got the one early. Here's the game winner in overtime.
They've got the rookies, and they've still got the vets, including Matt Rambo, who's downstairs with Q.
Putting together a collection of championship rings at every level. What traits win championship games?
Just playing a complete 48 minutes right here, and whatever team makes the less mistakes usually comes out with the win. So that's our motto today. Play hard, try not to make a lot of mistakes. If you do, don't make another one.
Thank you, Matt.
Yep.
They've got championship DNA. Quinn, here's their starting lineup, powered by Ticketmaster.
All Terps all the time. Fear the Turtle. Matt Dunn picked up his second Defensive Player of the Year award. He's going to be matched up on Connor Fields today. As you shift gears to the midfield, you got the stretch shooter in Chanachuk. Watch out for Patra. He's a do-it-all midfielder. He was the key in their quarterfinal win. And then on attack, we've talked about the Rookie of the Year, Malone. You've still got Rambo on the left side and Williams on the right. Rambo was MVP in 19. Williams was MVP in 2020.
Yeah, you got two former MVPs and a Rookie of the Year. Not bad on the attack line. It's a goalie matchup we've seen before back in college in the MAC Championship 2022. MAAC, that is. Brendan Krebs in Manhattan beat Brett Dobson in the top-seeded St. Bonaventure Bonnies. They're back. They're here today playing for a championship again, Kark.
And Krebs wears the number 0 to indicate he had 0 offers as a high school lacrosse player to play college lacrosse as a goaltender. Never started a game in his high school career. Went to Manhattan, burst on the scene. The rest is history. The best game of his pro career was last week.
We are off and running in the 2024 PLL Cash App Championship. You got a couple of beasts at the stripe with Nardella for the Whips and Sisselberger for the Archers, and it's Maryland who wins the initial possession. Joe Nardella, by the way, has now taken over sole possession of first place on the leaderboard, 154 playoff face-off wins. Here's Matt Rambo, MVP in 2019, and he's on the board early in 2024. Big-time players in big-time games, just 26 seconds in.
He's got ice in his veins. He could disappear in the regular season. When the lights are bright, 9 and white wants the rock, and I am shocked that Graham Hosick isn't on Matt Rambo off the jump, Ryan Boyle, because he can get physical, and I don't know if Jeffrey can defend him. A lefty on a lefty, he's got to use the body. I don't know if he can do that.
Well, they got Hosick right now on Zed Williams. What's interesting about that point is Chris Bates picked up Jeffrey and Hosick a few years ago to deal with the combo of Rambo and Williams. There's such a load, big bodies down there at attack.
Whips head coach Jim Stagnita says Matt Rambo's taken on a different role this year. They drafted TJ Malone. He's taken over as the quarterback, but when you need a big goal, Rambo is still the guy. He's on the board first. Loose ball in the corner. Archers, the Western Conference champions this year. First season of the Premier Lacrosse League with conferences and home cities, and it's out of bounds against Utah, Maryland ball.
Back to Rambo. If Rambo has 27 Jeffries on him, I think he's going to go to the body. If he has Hosick on him, 81, I feel like he's going to use his feet and try to beat him in space. Two totally different matchups for Rambo.
Hosick, extremely physical, 81 in orange, 6'2", 230 lead. Maybe the biggest hit of the championship last year. And sat in the penalty box because of it. Archers beat the Water Dogs in an instant classic last season on this same field. Third year in a row we played the championship here at Subaru Park. Williams gets free. Dobson makes his first save of the day. Vacuumed up by Hosick, and he starts the break.
They got a trailer.
It is the trailer. It's Bo Pedersen, the rookie, short stick D mid. Good ball movement. Krebs kicks that aside. Back up one by the Whips. They're the best team in the league at winning runouts defensively.
They run out at a 19% clip. The fifth highest going back to 2019. Beautiful anticipation and great save by Krebs, who in the playoffs so far has started slow and needed to kind of settle in. So if you're a Whipsnakes fan, great to see him with that early stop.
He can heat up in a hurry. He's put up some of the biggest games in PLL history, 20-plus save type games for a guy who's in his first year as a full-time starter. Kyle Bernlohr, former goalie of the year, is watching Adam Patra, another rookie. His shot deflected before it got anywhere. Backed up by Mike Chanenchuk, a veteran, and a 2-point threat. One and white, 20 to shoot. Chanenchuk with a short stick matchup against Connor Marr. Here's Williams. Second in the league in goals in the regular season. Got his hands free. It's a shot clock reset, but it's scooped up by the Archers. The rookie Mason Woodward with a nice toe drag to get out of trouble.
He was phenomenal last week on the ground. 5 grounders, 3 caused turnovers. Rookie out of Marquette. His flexibility as a college player allowed him to be used in multiple spots in his rookie season for Chris Bates.
Also scored a goal in 4 of their last 5 regular season games, so keep an eye on 77 coming over. It's impossible to overstate just how dominant the Archers were defensively last week. The previous PLL record for fewest goals allowed in any game was 3. They gave up just 1. There's O'Keefe with a rip on the run. Archers back it up 16 seconds on the timer.
Here's the heavyweight matchup. Fields and Dunn late in the clock when you gotta go.
Connor Fields did not play in this game last year. Archers won it without him. This year they're trying to do it without Tom Schreiber. Great defense from Dunn. He wins that battle.
Yeah, round 1 goes to Matt Dunn, forcing Fields to his right hand and then bodying him up along goal line extended there, never really giving him an angle to be a threat.
The goal of the PLL season in Boston, Connor Fields between the legs. That was on Matt Dunn, the defender of the year. That gets his attention coming into this matchup.
There was in this game a 16-11 win for the Archers back in week 5. That was right before the All-Star game and right before the turnaround for the Whips. As Rambo shoots wide, he has been aggressive early. He's got the lone goal.
Can't state enough what Jim Stagnita's done. First 6 games, 2-4. Last 6, 6-0.
Count it for Ryan Conrad, another big-time performer. He's playing in his 3rd consecutive championship, and he had a hat trick the last 2 years playing for Philly.
And it starts with the 2-man game between Conrad and Malone. They get the switch that they want. And then all the eyes are on Malone, and Conrad just wisely drifts upfield into open space. You can see Woodward, 77 in orange. He wants to support the on-ball matchup, and he kind of gets lost in the gray area there.
And that's when Conrad scrapes high, and I've been talking about Jim Stagnita and the job he's done. One of the pieces to that is acquiring Ryan Conrad and making him a threat behind the goal, inverting. And you didn't see him doing that a ton with the Water Dogs. He has lived behind the cage since he's become a Whip.
Run. In terms of
boys on the ground ball pickup. Go ahead, RV.
In terms of matchups, this is the problem the Whips present. When you got Anderson and Conrad, you put a pull on one of those 2.
That's a 2, and Dobson saw it all the way from Dunn.
And basically, whoever you put the short stick on, you're going to get a heavy dose of them inverting behind the cage on a short stick.
And Conrad was such a key addition considering Brad Smith hasn't played all year. Tucker Dordovic, another star midfielder, barely played at all. Good to see Tucker on the field today after he had jaw surgery. It got broken in 3 different places.
They're not here without Conrad.
100%.
Because of all those pieces that have been injured. Conrad was a must.
Whips on the run. Williams decides to slow it down, holding on to a 2-0 lead 5 minutes into this 2024 championship. Keep in mind, last year the Archers against the Water Dogs took an 8-2 lead early in the second quarter. Water Dogs came all the way back, and that game was tied with about a minute left before Tom Schreiber scored the game winner.
They've got 11. Matt Moore trapped on defense.
Williams takes the shot. Dobson makes his 4th save.
Dobson is so big. When offensive players come from behind the cage, he takes that wide base. He's long and big to begin with.
Mistake by the Archers, giving it away.
To get it past him, Drew. I mean, he's just a big body, and his hands are magic.
There's Chanenchuk. Now from X, it's TJ Malone. He won Rookie of the Year Friday night. Spent 6 years at Penn State. Takes the shot. Pete Dobson missed the cage. Chanenchuk on the backup. Malone is a great story. 3 different surgeries at Penn State. He had 2 torn labrums in his hips. He was in a wheelchair after surgery. Thought he might never play again. Doctors told him to hang up the cleats. He stuck with it, and here he is.
Back-to-back Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year. Post-hip surgery proved that he could play at the highest level at the collegiate ranks. How he went in the 3rd round is beyond me.
Plays the 2-man here with his fellow rookie Levi Anderson. Put the shoulder down and missed it. The lefty can really rip have been 17 seconds to shoot.
Levi Anderson didn't play field lacrosse till he got to college.
St. Joe's class of 24. He's had a long journey as well. He was drafted by the Chaos, decided to go back to college, drafted by the Redwoods, then traded to the Whips early in the year. Shot clock is low. Williams denied by Dobson. I think that's a save. Or did he miss the goal? Right now, no shot clock reset, still at 1. And Maryland will take the shot clock violation.
You're talking about Levi Anderson being a Canadian and only playing the indoor game for so long. That just tells you about his upside, right? I mean, this is a guy that's played in college for 5 years. So now you think about him acclimating to this game, and now we're seeing his best play. I mean, the sky is the limit in terms of him being a pro and standing out.
Yeah, I talked to him pregame. He was like, when I first started playing field, I went off sides like 5 times. I ran through the crease a few times.
Why isn't the ball bouncing back to me after a shot, right, off the boards?
Here's the rookie, Jack Van Overbeck. Played his college ball at High Point, native of St. Paul, Minnesota. Behind the back, feet in the middle, looking for Fields. It's taken away by Tim Muller. That's 5 turnovers against Utah already.
Yeah, the Whip Snakes are dialed in defensively. Second straight possession where they've crashed the crease. They've supported with a slide Archer to try to jam it in there, and they were organized behind the play. Earlier it was Mazzone. That possession, it was done.
You heard Rambo.
They're playing.
You heard Rambo in the beginning, Quint, right? Mistake free.
Yeah, they're playing faster. They are playing faster right now than Utah in every phase. They're setting crisp picks, and they're moving their feet everywhere.
Rambo playing bully ball again, trying to get top side, rolls back to his right hand, shoots, and Dobson snares it out of the air.
Matt Rambo.
So you get the feeling that Dobson's going to have to stand on his head a little bit here early until his team
Matt
settles
Rambo
down.
told Quinn before the game, mistake free. They've had 0 turnovers. Utah's had 5.
And another costly turnover in the substitution game. They went offside.
Just not what you would expect from the reigning champs. Chris Bates, their head coach, said, "It's ours until they rip it out of our hands." Conrad, the lefty, shot. Dobson's got 6 saves in the first quarter. Again, coming off the best performance by a goalie in PLL history last week. Conrad surrounded by orange jerseys. Ground ball is still up for grabs. These are so massive in a game like this. Rambo still in pursuit. It's Archer's ball.
Big pickup by Piper Bond.
Those short stick teammates have been so good for the Archers. There's Bond playing offense. Bond, Marr, who were rookies last year, and then Pedersen, a rookie this year. O'Keefe has the Archers on the board. He said, "I'll do it myself."
Mac O'Keefe is known as a stretch-shooting lefty menace. There's no Tom Schreiber. Where are you finding your offense? Grant Amon has to step up. Connor Fields has to step up. It helps when you have a 200-plus goal scorer from Penn State who smells the back of the net on a beautiful day, Championship Sunday in Philly.
Hello, here's a free sticker. Scan the code and receive 10% off of your... I'm an advanced robotic helper. Do you need assistance? Huh. Did you know I can assist with grocery shopping, banking, landscaping? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate my performance? I will register that as a 10.
The Wild Robot, rated PG, in theaters September 27.
T-Mobile savings, take 1.
Guys, focus. Let's not do fake falls. Just say, at T-Mobile, you get tons of benefits, and you can still save versus the other guys.
Happy to be here.
No fake stares, please.
Hi, I'm Patrick J. Adams.
Is that a shimmy?
Just say, at T-Mobile, you can save on every plan, and you get great benefits with Magenta status.
Keep doing whatever that is. I'll do the line.
Check out the T-Mobile savings calculator to see how much you can save. And right now, we'll even pay off your phone when you switch.
Doors take us places, to new adventures, planned and unplanned. They lead to goals and connect us to family.
I didn't get the part.
Your dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors
I did get waiter number 2.
because they know you They can help you create a comprehensive plan for your full financial picture and personalized money management with the right balance of risk and reward. Doors were meant to be opened.
If I was to describe this sandwich in one word, I would say magical. Hi, this is Jamor, and the little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich is that extra oomph. I go back and forth from the spicy filet to the original filet. Personally, I get into the sweetness of the honey. That's what hits first. Then you have the extra kick from the spicy filet, and then you also have the spice of the jalapeno peppers. The combination alone takes it over the top. It's award-winning in my mind.
Real customer paid for their testimonial.
The PLL on ESPN is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Visit Progressive.com.
What an event yesterday over at Capitolo Playground. This has been the biggest weekend in PLL history here in Philadelphia. Everything has been an A+, and we're hoping for a great championship, too. The Archers just got on the board, RB, but it's not going to last for long. Jim Stagnita has thrown the challenge flag.
Yeah, and it looks like a clear violation by Mac O'Keefe as he turns the corner. You're going to see clearly that foot right there inside the crease. So I don't expect this challenge to take all that long.
The timeout really helped the Whipsnakes. Number one, with this harsh sunlight, it's hard to see the tablets. And so Kyle Bernlohr, the backup goalie for the Whipsnakes, looking at his tablet with the sunscreens on it, finally got a close look. But had there not been a timeout there, the Whipsnakes would not have challenged Jimmy Stagnita throwing the flag as that timeout came to a conclusion.
Listen to Matt Palin.
Second shot clock, 2:44 on the game clock.
2:44 on the game clock.
Whips are going to clear it.
Yep. And we're taking one off the board.
Taking one off the board. It's gonna be no goal. They're gonna clear it down there with 2:44 to go.
Good. Let's go.
Go.
We get the call here from Matt Palin.
I can do 30 now. Head out, fellas. Thanks. We will. During the timeout, the last goal by the Archers was challenged, and there is no goal. There was a crease violation. Whipsnakes will clear it with 52 on the shot clock, 2:44 on the game clock.
You can see it from up here. A nice move by Jim Stagnita to throw that challenge flag. He is the winningest coach in PLL history. He's won more than 60% of his games as the Whipsnakes head coach, and he's been here since day one.
The fourth championship, and the year they didn't make it, they had a 9-1 regular season. They just got knocked out in the semifinals to the Water Dogs, who went on to be the eventual champ.
And his roster was intact the first 4 years of the seasons, right? This year, the 6th year of the PLL, he had 5 rookies playing.
Patra, there's one of the rookies. Out of Loyola, makes it 3 zip whips. What a turnaround, a 2-goal swing.
You know, at first, Kark, you thought he might be in a little bit of trouble. The Archers try to jump him at the midfield line on this clear. But Patra could do a little bit of everything. Yeah, I love the Whipsnakes in the crowd. But right here, you thought maybe he's in trouble. And then all of a sudden, just a ton of green emerges.
Yeah, that's a beautiful look with the spider cam substituting through the box. And the Archers are not accounting for Patra. I'm thinking he'll be a passer in that exchange in the substitution game. And he was one of those rookies. They've played 5 rookies this season. And it's not just a matter of the headline, Ajax Zapatel, who they got in the first round. It's their later picks who've been magnificent. Malone in the 3rd round, Patra in the 4th round, delivering on the biggest stage.
Nardella scoops up the face-off himself. It was dislodged before he could take the shot, but Patra, you said it, Kark, a 4th-round pick out of Loyola. His goal and his point totals went up each of his 5 years playing for the Greyhounds, and he has been a find for Jim Stagnita.
I'm not super surprised by this start. You look at this Archers team, they haven't played a super competitive game in close to a month. Their last game against Denver was a 13-9 win. That was back on the August 17th. Then they had the bye in the quarters, and then they destroyed Chaos 10-1 in the semis.
Yeah, they're not in a groove right now. More turnovers than shots.
Amen threads the needle. Krabs turns it aside. Matt Moore thought he had a sure goal from point-blank range.
It hit the post, hit that far post, and trickled back out onto the turf.
It's only their 4th shot of the game, 6 turnovers. This offense is not in a groove.
Yeah, the Whipsnakes, meanwhile, they've been playing playoff lacrosse for months now. Down 2-4, that record, they had to win each and every week just to get in the hunt.
Take a look at this in the goalie cam here. Hits the pipe. Yeah, they could win ugly, Ryan, and they could win with multiple offensive presence, right? It could be Rambo, it could be Malone, it could be Patra. They're not a scripted bunch.
He was dodging aggressively, ended up in the crease. The Archers ball. About 84 degrees here in Philadelphia. Beautiful championship
Feels
Sunday.
hotter in the sun, Drew. Feels hotter in the sun.
Hey Q, how is the sun affecting the game, if at all?
It's not. It's tough on the tablets, but everything else is
Moore goes back to the crease, and he scores the first goal for Utah. So Matt Moore thought he had one about 30 seconds ago, and now he does.
Aggressive early the shot clock, and I think it caught the Whipsnakes a little bit by surprise. They had a slide prepared, but it was just a hair late. You can see Matt Moore aggressively going at Zapatello. There's the slide by Dunn. Moore does a good job once he gets underneath, snaking back, getting that stick in his right hand, increases shooting angle.
I like it a lot, and I'll tell you why. They're struggling to generate offense in the settled 6-on-6 looks. When you dodge early in the shot clock and the defense isn't set up, they're out of their regular slide rotation. If you could own one-on-one matchup there, and Moore could, you're going to get a late slide.
Great effort for Moore, keeping that inbound. Sisselberger is on it for the Archers. The shot clock has begun for Utah after they initially won the faceoff. Now Dunn comes away with it for Maryland. Under 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Whips can hold for one here.
These late quarter possessions so critical.
And Moore appears to be injured on the other side.
That's what I was saying earlier today when we were going on the lineups. He's been in and out of the lineup virtually the entire season. You haven't seen a heavy dose of Matt Moore, who is so talented. Looks like
he got hit around the throat area. He's struggling, almost vomiting, and struggling to find his breath.
Dobson makes the save. That's his 7th of the first quarter. That ends the first quarter. But Moore is a guy who hit IR and missed a month of action with a right shoulder issue. Watch this one.
Yeah, this is more intestinal. He's vomiting right now on the bench here.
Hit in the throat. It was Alex Mazzone. His stick up there in that neck area. So Chris Bates will have to find a way to replace Moore, hopefully keep him in the lineup. He's got the 1 goal for the Archers. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Hello, do you need assistance? How do I get this gosling to swim?
Easy.
Swim!
The Wild Robot is the best animated movie of the year.
You are defective. I feel fine. You should not feel anything. I want to become more than I was programmed to be. I am a wild robot.
The Wild Robot, rated PG, in theaters September 27.
We love home internet from T-Mobile. Oh, now Mesh boosts Wi-Fi all over your home. Take a class in your attic. That dead spot is gone. Stream ballet in your man cave. Learn to paint on your lawn.
He's glorious. For a limited time, get a free upgrade to Home Internet Plus. Just $50 a month.
Appreciate it so much. Thank you so much.
Doors are new beginnings. Your dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors.
For you, Mama.
through personalized money management that can evolve with new chapters. And they can proactively view your entire portfolio with an eye on taxes and the impact of risk, so you can enjoy moments together, because doors were meant to be opened.
I was so excited when I heard this sandwich was back. I was like, Cloud 9, 2 words, Cloud 9. What's up? This is Mike.
And this is Celia.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich
Is the symphony of flavors. You can always count on that crispy, tender, juicy chicken, and it's got pickled jalapenos, and it's so good.
My favorite part is the pimento cheese. Topped off with the honey, it all comes together perfectly. I like the original.
I like the spicy chicken fillet, but either way,
You're getting a winner.
Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Toyota's legendary truck event is on, and the deals are going to be legendary.
'Cause we're gonna be legends.
Hurry in for $2,000 cash back on any Tundra, or lease a Tacoma 4x4 for as low as $289 a month. Get to your Toyota dealer now, because this truck event isn't just big, it's legendary. Toyota, let's go places.
This is Formula One.
Well, the PLL has handed out 5 championships in its history. 3 of them belong to these teams playing today. The Whipsnakes win the first one back in 2019 here in Philadelphia. In the COVID-affected season in 2020, they didn't lose a single game. They went 6-0 out in Utah. Go back-to-back to start. Now the Archers are trying to match their back-to-back. Last year, they won their first championship. Beat the Water Dogs in a thriller 15-14 here last year. So we welcome you back to the PLL Cash App Championship on ESPN. Drew Carter, Paul Carcaterra, Ryan Boyle, Quinn Kesnick back with you here at Subaru Park. These are the 2 winningest coaches in PLL history, Jim Stagnita and Chris Bates. No one else has more than 30 wins. Andy Towers in 3rd place. These guys are both day 1 PLL coaches, and feels kind of fitting that they're matching up today, RB.
Yeah, I was talking with Chris Bates before the game. I mean, life comes at you fast. Like, he only has 2 guys from his original team in 2019 playing today. So his ability to adapt and evolve year over year, super impressive, and the numbers back it up.
Look back at the Whips, their 2020 championship team. They've got 8 guys from that roster playing today. Adam Patra's a new face, and he looks good in his first championship. The rookie's got 2 goals.
With the 32-second shot clock after a face-off win, you've got to have a sense of urgency. And what Patra affords you is the ability to go 2 ways. So when they win that face-off ball, they don't have to slow it down, they don't have to sub, it's go time.
Yeah, and that's the second time quickly out of a substitution he's attacked this Utah defense. Both unassisted goals. He's a rookie from Loyola where he played attack and midfield throughout his career. He is so smooth with the left hand, and you know, Zed Williams has been a little quiet. 1 for 10 shooting in the postseason. He's 0 for 4 today. I said earlier, they can win ugly with multiple guys. Patra's the guy so far.
Any hockey fans out there, if the name Patra sounds familiar, Adam's younger brother Matt plays for the Boston Bruins. And Adam's got 2 goals today, leading the Whips to a 4-1 lead. Early second quarter, they win another faceoff.
And another ground ball from Squires off the wing. He was second in ground balls in terms of non-face-off guys in the regular season. He's a vacuum cleaner on those wings.
He had 5 last week in the win over the Atlas. Good call, RB.
Shot clock below 5 as Rambo gets topside against Jeffrey Wright. He shot, Dobson makes the save. And here comes transition with Mason Woodward. The rookie can stretch it from 2. Gives it up. O'Keefe takes the shot. Krebs on all the way. Now the Whips going the other direction. Conrad gets hammered from behind. It was Woodward on the trail check. He loads it up. He scores! End-to-end action. Mason Woodward with a 2-bomb.
Take a bow, rookie. He owned that play from the cause turnover to the rip.
What an energy play. What an individual effort here by Woodward. He's going to stay with this play all throughout it. He created the transition opportunity on the first run out. He got the feed from Dobson. He feeds Mac O'Keefe. Okay, all right, we're thinking we're going the other way. We might have certain transition. Nuh-uh. Woodward causes the turnover, pushes the second transition opportunity, and buries it from 2.
He was like the Tasmanian devil on that play. I'll tell you what, if he misses that and they go the other way, I don't know if he has the gas to get in the hole because he used so much energy on the caused turnover and that shot from downtown.
That was way outside. Took that from State College. First round pick out of Marquette, Mason Woodward. What an effort. And you're right, that is a juice goal. It just feels entirely different in this building right now.
And that's championship level energy, intensity. You've got to have those type of hustle plays if you want to win one of these things.
Sisselberger wins the face-off. The edge is now 5-3 in favor of Nardella. Those guys will be going toe-to-toe all afternoon. Here's Connor Fields. He has the short stick matchup after the pick against Wheaton Jacobois. 5 on 55. On the feet, there he is. It's Trey LeClaire. We've been begging for him to get involved. He cranks it up at 97 miles an hour to tie the game.
What a rip by the righty LeClaire. A hammer from deep.
It all starts with the switch they get on Connor Fields. So here's Trey LeClaire. He's off ball all the way over here. They've got the individual matchup. They've got the short stick on Connor Fields. So he's going to operate, and all the attention is going to turn toward Connor Fields, and they're just going to get LeClaire just kind of drifted into open space. They just give him too much room, Gark.
He's the right guy to float. Let the Dodgers grab all the attention of the Whips defense and float LeClaire into a space where his hands are free and he can set his feet because he is brilliant from that spot. Here's a look at his regular season shot clock. You can just tell that from a chart perspective, he loves that exact area.
Only 1 touch in the first quarter. And this is a guy that led all midfielders in goal scoring. To only have 1 touch, we knew he needed to get more involved.
Yeah, he's the most underrated player at his position in the league because in the past he's played defensive midfield, he's played on wings, he's had to play attack in the past when some guys are injured. He is a complete chameleon, Drew.
Nardella lost his lid on the face-off.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have a reface. Both Nardella coming to the sideline. Sisselberger will remain, and we're going to have a reface. Taya, the momentum change here is palpable. It's what makes lacrosse so fun. If you're a lacrosse fan, you know all about it. These games can turn on a dime in a second. If you're new to the sport of lacrosse, this is what it's all about. It's a game of runs. It's a lot of fun.
3 points for the Archers in just 33 seconds. It went from a 4-1 deficit to a 4-4 tie.
Matt Moore is back on the field, 11 in orange. That's good news for Chris Bates to get his KG vet.
How about Jake Bernhardt winning that faceoff for Maryland? The veteran captain, 83, takes the shot himself. Airmails it, 23 to shoot.
You have a violation on Nardella. You have to put a new player in there, Bernhardt, who's been a mainstay for Jim Stagnita.
Look away! A chance to win his 4th ring in outdoor lacrosse. That would make some history with time for most all time. Rambo rings it off the crossbar. Ground ball is still loose. Malone had it for a moment. Dobson, with the one hand, picks it up.
Nifty snag there by Dobson.
I feel like Rambo knows he's got a physical matchup. The advantage if he uses his body on Jeffrey, 27 in orange. He's not going to do that against Hasek, but against Jeffries, I think he's going to get in the body and make him play the leverage game that he feels so confident he can win.
Here's Amen. Draws the slide. Zapatello picks him up, the rookie. Amen, the jump shot. Archers take the lead.
I'm going to point out a random weird thing here, Clark. This is actually set up by Ryan Ambler. Ryan Ambler comes sprinting out of the box, and he goes right to the crease. And so they had to put a long pole on him. And because of that, Amen gets the short stick.
Yeah, who needs a pick and a switch when you do that? That is a great find there, Boyle, because when Ambler goes down, it's almost like Amen knows that he's going to occupy that area with the long pole, and he can feast. Make no mistake about it. Grant Amen is one of the best players in the world, and he sacrificed his natural position. He was the 2021 Attackman of the Year in the PLL in the last 2 seasons. Because of the way that this offense kind of just fell into place, he's been playing midfield. All he's done now is become the leading scorer from the midfield in the PLL. And when you get him behind, he's got so many options. And there, you just felt like he owned goal line extended on Zapatello.
There's a 2-bomb, and it goes. It's Alex Mazzone. Whips back in front just like that.
In the regular season, the Whipsnakes had 9 two-pointers and had the highest two-point shooting percentage. In the postseason, just 1 two-pointer and 7%. Mazzone teased this up,
wiping the goal off. Wiping the goal off. The head of the stick came off before the ball crossed the goal line.
Wow.
Goal is wiped off.
That is a massive.
The head of the stick comes flying off as he releases the shot. Therefore, the shot doesn't count. Therefore, the two-pointer doesn't count.
Yeah, the head of the stick fell off his shaft after the ball crosses the plane. Different story, right, Quinn?
It's a dangerous play. That the head of the stick flies off. He's got an uncovered titanium shaft going towards a defender. That's a dangerous play. That's the right call.
Let's go down to the PLL head of competition sets here. And Aseth, explain that rule for us, please.
Hey, guys, you cannot score a goal with a illegal stick. And at that point in time, after he shot it or during the motion of shooting it, the head of the stick popped off, which would make that stick deem it illegal at that point in time. We got to take that two-pointer off the board.
Seth, what if the ball crosses the plane and the head of the stick falls off his shaft after it crosses the goal line?
Yeah, I mean, there would be some time that had to elapse, and we'd have to take a look at that and see if there's any, any video evidence that would prove that situation. But at this point in time, in his follow-through, the head of that stick came off at that point.
All right, Seth's hearing it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Safety issue.
Yeah,
So
it would be a dead ball once the ball crosses the goal line.
Yeah, that's my point.
So it wipes off Mazzone's first goal of the whole summer. And the Archers are still in front. Williams is stopped on the doorstep. Dobson's got it. And his outstanding first half continues. That's 9 saves for Dobson, who again is coming off the best goalie performance we've ever seen in the PLL.
Yeah, and Zed's not in groove right now. Zed is not feeling it. Typically, he always finishes right in front of the crease with his right hand there. It's almost automatic.
Big credit Dobson. These aren't like routine saves. Like these are.
Leclerc sprinting out of the box. Back to Amen up top. Approaching 5 minutes into the second quarter. Archers holding on to their first lead today. They trailed 4-1. Ambler in front. Great trail check at the last second by Roman Puglisi. He's going to get called for a push. It'll stay here. That should be a reset of the shot clock. Back to 32. Here's Ryan Ambler, the teammate of the year on the crease dive. And the whips will go the other way. Here comes Zapatello. Let's go under the helmet with Archers goalie Brett Dobson, powered by Cash App.
Hey, Wires, you good? You can grab Island. Hey, check power. Island, Woody. You're good, Woody. You're good, Woody. Lefty. Righty. Drive up. Hang on, Woody, hang on. Get there. Watch the pick here. Ghost, look away. Get there. Heat. Support here. Heat. Go.
Three things matter for a goalie in terms of communication. Number one, where's the ball? A lot of defenders have their back to the ball. They need help. Number two, how's the defender on the ball playing? Does he have the right angle? Should he be funneling the ball carrier to a certain area? And then number three is your slide or your support packages. Brett Dobson, a pro.
Broken down by Quinn Kestnick, one of the best goalies of all time. That's 10 saves for Brett Dobson. He's locked in again. Here's Van Overbeck, takes the low shot. Backed up by Matt Moore. Interesting that Van Overbeck still playing even with Moore back in the lineup. He replaced Moore in the last week of the regular season.
And he was tremendous. The game-winning goal on a 13-12 victory over the California Redwoods in overtime. And then he had a fourth quarter goal to tie it. Ice in his veins, and this rookie is not going to back down 8 in orange from this big stage.
He has forced his way into the lineup for Chris Bates' team. Fields dispossessed by Bernhardt, who's playing a great first half. It's taken away by the Whips, and here comes Contra. That's 9 turnovers against Utah. Will Mazzone try it again? No, he dishes it to Zed Williams. We'll see if they can get him involved. Tonight, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN. Our Sunday Night Baseball matchup features the Dodgers and the Braves. Coverage begins with Baseball Tonight Sunday Night Countdown at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. A 2-ball from Colin Heacock. First time we've said his name here.
Yeah, ill-advised sub by Dyson Williams, 51 in orange.
Maryland's winning the substitution game right now.
Jimmy Stagnita told me that was key number 1.
Dobson, kick save and a beauty.
And key 2 was defending an early offense.
Key 1 is working out.
No transition, no early offense.
We have here a timeout by Chris Bates. Philly guy, take his use it or lose. You can't bring it with you to the second half, so the Archers use their first timeout. Leading by 1, 4:18 to play in the second quarter.
Doors take us places, to new adventures, planned and unplanned. They lead to goals and connect us to family.
I didn't get
Your dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors.
I did get waiter number 2.
Because they know you. They can help you create a comprehensive plan for your full financial picture and personalized money management. With the right balance of risk and reward, doors were meant to be opened.
Someone's starting strong this season with the new DQ Fall Blizzard menu, with the delicious return of pumpkin pie and French silk pie, plus other great fall flavors. Oh, this lineup may just be the GOAT.
Taco?
No, like the greatest of all treats kind of GOAT. Hurry in and try all 7 delicious flavors on the new Fall Blizzard menu. Get it in the DQ app. Happy tastes good.
Hello, do you need assistance? How do I get this gosling to swim?
Easy. Swim!
The Wild Robot is the best animated movie of the year.
You are defective. I feel fine. You should not feel anything. I want to become more than I was programmed to be. I am a wild robot.
The Wild Robot, rated PG, in theaters September 27th.
So it's Matthew Thomas Rambo.
Right.
And Colin Spaulding Heacock.
What? Joseph.
Joseph. Who's the chef here?
Me. And see, he doesn't clean up. I'm the cook. Like I said.
Chef, unreal. What's your specialty?
You can see the teriyaki sauce in there, leftover. I had made some steak with teriyaki.
Last time the Terps won a national title. What's that pressure like for you guys?
There's a lot that goes into it, so it's special just to be a part of it. Maybe special just to bring it back to the whole state of Maryland and for all the alums.
That's an OG relaxing with Peacock. Those guys are best friends, Colin Heacock and Matt Rambo. They went on to win the championship, break the drought for Maryland that year, 2017. And let's go under the helmet with Heacock, powered by Cash App.
Colin, it's Kark up in the booth. What's it like to go to battle with Matt Rambo?
What'd you say, what's it like to go to Maryland?
No, what's it like to go to battle with Matt Rambo?
Oh, man, he's the man. I mean, obviously my best friend, but... what did I say? Oh, yeah, I mean, he obviously is my best friend and hell of a competitor, hell of a player, and, you know, we're just out there having fun, so, you know, when I see him dodging and getting some goals, it fires me up personally, but he brings a lot of energy to the team, so it's, you know, it's good to be back with him.
Where can you make your presence felt in this matchup today?
Just doing whatever I can to help my team out, whether it's, you know, moving off ball, sending some picks, making that initial dodge. We'll listen to our coaches and see how I can help out.
All right, that's Colin Heacock onto the helmet. He's been quiet today. Rambo has not. He scored that first goal for Maryland.
2017, I spent some time with them on their national championship run for Maryland. John Tillman, the head coach. 2 characters, but when the stakes are high and they're on the field, their competitive nature kicks in. And 2 Maryland Terp legends who won a national title, now trying to win a PLL championship for the first time together because Heacock wasn't part of those back-to-back runs.
Been with the Chrome the last 3 years. Here's O'Keefe, takes the shot. Nice save by Krebs. One down low. Told you about this goalie matchup. It's the same one we saw a couple of years ago in the MAC Championship, MAAC. Manhattan and Brendan Krebs beating Brett Dobson and St. Bonaventure. That year, by the way, Dobson saved 66.5% of the shots he saw, led the country for the second year in a row. He has carried that efficiency to the PLL. He was a finalist for goalie of the year. He was unbelievable last week. Same thing today. That's his 12th save.
That's absurd.
12 saves.
Ridiculous. Field level, Quinn. Break down these saves.
This is a shooter's field, first of all. This is the fastest surface they've played on all summer long. And what Dobson's doing well right now is moving his feet, going pipe to pipe, getting his body involved.
This is a grass field, manicured beautifully. There's a bouncer. It's Conrad, his second goal of the first half.
Well, if the ball didn't bounce their way with Mazzone's stick flying off, it did on this play, because Conrad was not the intended target. You're going to see Malone. There's a couple teammates inside. You see Williams cutting and Patra drifting from behind the cage. Meanwhile, Conrad is just behind that fray, and the ball just kind of luckily trickles out to him.
Yeah, that ball's intended for 36 in white. Zed Williams. Johnny on the spot. Ryan Conrad, national champ at the University of Virginia in 2019. He has a title with the PLL Water Dogs and was part of that huge mid-season trade that was so critical with all the injuries to Rookie of the Year last year, Tucker Dordovic and Brad Smith.
Clean win for Nardella. Takes it right to glory. Missed the shot. Malone from outside. Closest to the ball when it goes out of bounds. Maryland keeps it with 24 to shoot.
It looked like somebody got a piece of that Malone shot.
Island, drive him. Sit, drive him.
TJ Malone doing TJ Malone things. He's got a couple of assists. Up to 48 points, including the playoffs in his rookie year.
Utah polling Levi Anderson.
Anderson trying to go to work. Gets the shot off as Woodward provided the help. Didn't hit the net, so 7 to shoot.
That means Heacock, who we just spoke to, he'll get a short stick. It looks like Piper Bond will be on him, and Heacock by the box right now.
Yeah. Karkin, the other guy that's got to produce, I think, for the Whips is Chanenchuk. If they're polling Levi Anderson, that opens up some opportunity for some other midfielders.
Mike Chanenchuk's one of the best two-point shooting midfielders in pro lacrosse history. Veteran who's statistically a little bit down this season.
Folks, don't forget our Week 2 Monday Night Football matchup featuring the Falcons against the Eagles. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN. Peyton and Eli are back on ESPN2, joined by Bill Belichick for the first half.
Your nephew Arch had a monster game last night in Texas. I'm sure that'll be on the docket.
Q was there, right?
Unbelievable.
What'd you hop on the red eye from Austin?
Nah, 5:50 a.m.
Is he faster than his uncles?
He can motor. He had 21 miles an hour on the touchdown run. I think the first 3 times he touched the ball resulted in touchdowns.
Well, the Whips, offensively, they started shooting 2 for 5 since 3 for 25, and a lot has to do with the magical performance of Brett Dobson, who's been phenomenal in the cage.
Whip Snakes take their first timeout. They're use it or lose it with under a minute to play in the first half. And now let's take a laundry break.
You wear your passion. We'll care for it. Whirlpool is the proud founding partner of the Maryland Whip Snakes.
Jim Stagnita in the huddle. Let's listen in to the Whips head coach.
Well, then, why don't you run all the way around and run the, you want to go double counter, or we can go quick? Can we get quick on it?
Quick or toss? Yeah, I like that.
I think we go quick. Let's test it quick here.
Okay. We haven't inverted.
All right. You're getting the pole? Okay. Let's take our time. All right, let's get a good dodge. Don't go back too quickly. All right, let's go with quick for Potts.
Hey, and if we don't
What I love about their huddles is there's a collaborative element to it and then a decisiveness. He gathers information, builds some consensus, but ultimately, he's the head coach. This is what we're doing. And he's flanked by Drew Snyder, offensive coordinator, really a rising star in the professional coaching ranks. You remember, as a player, he's one who drew up the play that won them the 2019 title on this turf.
It's a dictatorship, but with a democracy feel.
Yeah, a little bit of both. That's a first. You know, when you listen to these huddles throughout the course of the season, which we have, he changes. I think it's an impulse and kind of just improvises and feels where he might have the matchup. It's not like he has his go-to formula. We've heard all those players' names be called in huddles throughout the course of the season.
Patra's got 2 goals, the rookie playing in the championship here in the first half.
They got what they wanted, but they couldn't execute. They got Patra on a short stick.
Williams has it, 5 to shoot. He gets it out to Rambo. They're going to have to hustle to get a shot off. He just throws it toward the crease, and Dobson is all over it. Under 20 seconds left in the second quarter. We're tied at 5. Here's Woodward, who scored from long distance.
Get on his hands.
The rookie close defenseman. He's hunting his shot, it looks like. 6 seconds until halftime. Woodward on the roll in the shot. Krebs backs it up.
Get on his hands. That ball is moving, and it's hard to track with a 6-foot pole. Nasty.
Good if it goes.
Krebs will fling it all the way down to Dobson. And folks, it's exactly what we signed up for and exactly what we expected. A tight one here in the 2024 Cash App Championship. Maryland 5, Utah 5. Let's go down to Q.
For a 5-5 game, a lot of action. How would you describe the tempo?
It's a championship game. Obviously, they're throwing some good punches at us. They struck first. Was happy with how we battled back. Our defense played really well. Dauber settled in there, and the offense started getting rolling.
What are the challenges that you're facing on offense?
I think it's pretty simple. I think we just need to sub onto the field with pace, sub off to the field with pace, and just get downhill on these guys. If we can draw slides and move it, that's when the easy goals start happening.
Thanks, Grant.
All right, Q, it's 5-5 here at halftime, and we got a special treat at the break here in Philadelphia. Shea Cornett is here with Paul Rabel for our halftime coverage. Take it away, Shea.
Thank you so much, Drew. Coming up at the half, we're going to get Paul's reaction to what he just saw on the field, of course, and then we'll talk about the weekend festivities here in Philadelphia.
Biggest weekend in PLL history, end of your awards, street lacrosse, tie ball game at halftime. What more could you ask for?
Seriously, tie ball game, that's it. We'll get second half analysis as well when we come back. But first, here's a message from your ABC stations.
If I was to describe this sandwich in one word, I would say magical. Hi, this is Jamor, and the little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich is that extra oomph. I go back and forth from the spicy filet to the original filet. Personally, I get into the sweetness of the honey. That's what hits first. Then you have the extra kick from the spicy filet. And then you also have the spice of the jalapeno peppers. The combination alone takes it over the top. It's award-winning in my mind.
Real customer paid for their testimonial.
The worst part about being a caveman is the upkeep. I'm a hairy guy, but my razor has to be available 24/7.
Available 24/7? Sounds like Geico's fast and friendly claim service.
Oh, I see. Okay, funny man, why don't you come up here and tell some jokes?
What do you call a gecko who helps with insurance? My hero.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
This is amateur hour.
Mama. I will protect you. I will protect all of you.
Don't wanna say goodbye.
The Wild Robot is the best animated movie of the year.
You are ordered to return home.
We have to help her. I am already home, and I am a wild robot.
The Wild Robot, rated PG, in theaters September 27.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills.
Hello?
Should you become stranded, be ready to signal rescuers.
long have I been out here?
About 12 minutes. Head for the mountains.
We could tell you what it's capable of. Or you could find out for yourself. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
What the biggest companies deliver is exceptional customer experience. What makes it possible is unmatched connectivity and 5G solutions from T-Mobile for Business. T-Mobile connects 100,000 Delta Airlines employees, powers Tractor Supply stores nationwide with reliable 5G business in.
Welcome back to halftime here in Philadelphia, where the Whipsnakes and the Archers are tied up in the Cash App Championship. I am Shay Cornett, and I am happy to be with the co-founder and president of the PLL. His name is Paul Rabel. And Paul, before we get into the highlights of what we saw here in the first half, what were your biggest takeaways?
Well, two counteracting things that have led to a tie ball game. So Nardella goes 8 for 11. That's 8 first possessions more than the Archers. And then Dobson saved 10 balls. 10 saves at halftime, on pace for 20. That's another potential PLL championship MVP right there.
Okay, well, there you go. That's what happened here in the first half, but let's get into it a little bit further, because the Archers did kind of start out slow, offensively at least, and then this was a big turning point.
Until this. The rookie out of Marquette, Mason Woodward, leads the fast break, comes back, makes a steal, and then scores a 2. That was game-changing. You could feel it in the venue.
Yep, and then we keep going here with more scoring.
Yeah, and this is Stagnita's best move of the season. He picks up Ryan Conrad in week 8. He's a leader from the Water Dogs, now leading the Maryland Whipsnakes.
We've talked a lot about the Archers' defense, and it was challenged early, especially early in the shot clock as the Whipsnakes got on the board. But then things kind of evened out, right, as we got closer to the half.
Yeah, well, you got to give a shout out to Matt Rambo. Philly born and bred. He gets the ball in his stick right out of the gates, goes topside and scores in front of this crowd. Okay, the Maryland Whipsnakes are here. What are the Archers going to do to respond? Cue Brett Dobson.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We'll get into more of the second half and what to expect in the moment. In the meantime, you mentioned it in the tease. What a weekend this has been for the Premier Lacrosse League, and it has been all weekend long, and it started Friday at the National Constitution Center, huh, Paul?
Our end-of-year awards right here. We see T.J. Malone, Rookie of the Year. It was a surefire bet. He was tied for 3rd in points in the PLL. I'd expect him to show up in the second half.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Of course, T.J. Malone playing for the Whipsnakes, and then the Jim Brown, most valuable player of the year, Jeff T. to the Atlas.
Legendary season, 66 points, shattered the scoring point record for a season. Jeff T, the Canadian, the Atlas leader, they came up short in the semifinals. He and they will be back.
Right, but he was so great throughout the entirety of the year. He's our player spotlight presented by Champion What Moves You. Set the PLL single season record in points with 64 and assists with 36. Averaged over 6 points per game, almost 3 goals a game, over 3.5 assists, and then 5 or more points in 8 of his 10 games. And then, of course, being awarded the MVP is pretty impressive for Jeff T.
And it's the Jim Brown Award for playing lacrosse and football at Syracuse, National Football Hall of Famer, National Lacrosse Hall of Famer. Rest in peace, Jim Brown. Jeff T, the Jim Brown MVP.
Yep, and he'll hold that up proudly. Let's go to now what we saw yesterday, I believe, at the Capitolo Playground. My goodness, downtown Philly lit with PLL fans, and yesterday was special.
I mean, when you call it the biggest weekend in PLL history, it's because you have people like Jason Kelsey showing. By the way, 4 years of high school lacrosse offensively. I know that behind the back didn't look great.
Tell by that stick handling.
Flavor Flav, we had Jeffrey Wright, we had Josh Richards, Philly's own Michael Sowers, we had men's and women's pros, we had the Boys and Girls Club of Chester, Pennsylvania, we had the Harlem Lacrosse Philadelphia chapter. It is a special event for us. It's a way for us to grow the game, to create it in its most original form, just a stick and a tennis ball.
And it just seems like the entire community was involved. But when you bring out the best of the best in Philadelphia, like one Jason Kelsey, who's just a natural athlete, of course, people are going to flock and grow the game. Obviously, you have with such a great crowd here in Philadelphia today for the Cash App Championship. But let's look back at some of the best moments that we saw this season. And let's go all the way back here to week 2. It was a good one in Charlotte here. Denver rookie Brennan O'Neill pick it up here, 4th quarter, 5 fourth-quarter goals for him, and the game winner in OT as Denver beat Utah 18-17.
Coming out party, Brennan O'Neill, the #1 draft pick, one of the most highly touted players we've had in the last decade, and boy, did he show it. 9 points to get the Outlaws into the playoffs for the first time in a couple seasons.
Rookies were so imperative this season. Week 5 in Boston, Utah's Connor Fields. Goal of the season, you could argue, one-handed between the legs.
Goal of the century, you could argue. And right here, notice the Maryland Whipstakes Utah Archers, Matt Dunn, Connor Fields matchup we're seeing right now. Matt Dunn has owned the first half. We'll see if Connor Fields has some trickery up his sleeve for the second.
Let's go to week 11 now in Salt Lake City. Incredible atmosphere. It feels like always here in this venue. Fan support for the Archers' first homecoming weekend.
Sold out 2 straight days. Utah is not only an emerging market from a participatory standpoint, but from a fandom. And the players said it themselves. They felt like the 12th man there helped guide them to these 2 wins, which led them into the first round bye and the #1 team in the West.
Love that. That's why you have these cities now designated to these teams. Last week, of course, on Long Island in the semifinals, Maryland's Levi Anderson with the OT game winner propelled the Whipsnakes into today's championship.
The most absurd overtime we've had in our league's history. It ran for 7.5 minutes, no timeouts. He got a short stick matchup. There's a coach that's been perennial since we started. Levi's been long sticks so far, and he's been held mostly neutral. We'll see if they can get some picks to set him up for a short stick so he can potentially do his patented move and score some for Maryland.
All right, let's get into the second half. We have a tie ball game here. What more could you ask for from Philadelphia in the Cash App Championship game? But what do you need to see more of from both teams? Let's start with the Archers.
Well, I would say Grant Ament and Mac O'Keefe come to mind. In Pennsylvania, they were the best duo in Penn State lacrosse history. I would expect a goal or 2 out of Grant, potentially out of Mac, but they've got to connect.
Okay, and then for the Whipsnakes, started out fast in the first half. What about the second?
Well, they have 2 former championship game MVPs. We saw Matt Rambo score their first goal. Zed Williams is the other. He's been neutralized by Graham Hosick. TJ Malone, the rookie of the year, the highest scorer on that offense. I would expect him to step up in the second half.
All right, we're looking forward to it here. These 2 teams very familiar with the championship game, so it should be a good second half that you're looking forward to here from Philadelphia. The Cash App PLL Championship game. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Thank you, Shay.
Hello. Here's a free sticker. Scan the code and receive 10% off of your... I'm an advanced robotic helper. Do you need assistance? Huh. Did you know I can assist with grocery shopping, banking, landscaping? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate my performance? I will register that as a 10.
The Wild Robot, rated PG, in theaters September 27th.
Okay, trainees, let's work on our fast and friendly claim service.
Eyes on the phone now.
Look alive, Drew.
Your repairs have been scheduled. Nice.
Yes, you'll get a rental car on site.
Heads up. Oh, I'm gonna turn this down to an 8. My bad.
We can do this all day. Geico claim service is 24/7. Nice catch.
Your claim has been approved. Your claim has been approved.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
If I was to describe this sandwich in one word, I would say magical. Hi, this is Jamor, and the little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich is that extra oomph. I go back and forth from the spicy filet to the original filet. Personally, I get into the sweetness of the honey. That's what hits first. Then you have the extra kick from the spicy filet, and then you also have the spice of the jalapeno peppers. The combination alone takes it over the top. It's award-winning in my mind.
Real customer paid for their testimonial.
To 50 years with my best friend and my soulmate.
Quick! The Quicker Picker-Upper. Only Bounty absorbs spills like a sponge, and Bounty is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less and get the job done with 1.
You've got a bit of your face on your face.
Bounty, the Quicker Picker-Upper. And get 4 rolls in 1 with the Bounty Mega Roll, our longest-lasting roll.
Moving forward with node-positive breast cancer,
my fear of recurrence could have held me back.
But I'm staying focused
and doing more to prevent recurrence.
Verzenio is specifically for HR-positive, HER2-negative, node-positive early breast cancer with a high chance of returning as determined by your doctor when added to hormone therapy. Verzenio reduces the risk of recurrence versus hormone therapy alone. Diarrhea is common, may be severe, or cause dehydration or infection. At the first sign, call your doctor, start an antidiarrheal, and drink fluids. Before taking Verzenio, tell your doctor about any fever, chills, or other signs of infection. Verzenio may cause low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infection that can lead to death. Life-threatening lung inflammation can occur. Tell your doctor about any new or worsening trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Serious liver problems can happen. Symptoms include fatigue, appetite loss, stomach pain, and bleeding or bruising. Blood clots that can lead to death have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have pain or swelling in your arms or legs, shortness of breath, chest...
Welcome back to the PLL Cash App Championship on ESPN. Welcome back to Subaru Park in Philly. We start the third quarter, all even at 5. Archers and Whipsnakes. The championship is on the line, 24 minutes to go. Drew Kark and RB back with you in the booth. Quinn Kesnick downstairs on the field. And RB, from that first half, what jumped out to you?
I think the goalie play. You know, both of them north of 60%, absolutely standing on their heads. So for me, as I look at the second half, this might become a game of possessions. And you look at the Whipsnakes, 8-3 advantage led by Joe Nardella.
Yeah, I think the Stars need to make their presence felt. You look at Zed Williams, second in the league in 1-point goals. Connor Fields, third in the league in 1-point goals. Both of them combined for 0 goals. These are big-time stars that I think can take over any game, but they have not been in the mix in the first half.
Yeah, a couple of guys maybe we didn't expect to be carrying the offenses. Adam Patra, a couple goals for the Whipsnakes. Mason Woodward with a 2-pointer for the Archers, the rookie close defenseman. RB mentioned the faceoffs won. 7 by Joe Nardella and 1 by Jake Bernhardt after a violation against Nardella, getting the better of Mike Sisselberger, and the saves jump out as well. Brett Dobson, after he made 18 saves and allowed just 1 goal last week, has 10 in the first half.
He's been beyond terrific. Talk about stacking performances in playoff games, too. I mean, this is what makes you in the conversation with Blaze Reardon, who was kind of in his own stratosphere. Now you have Brett Dobson. If they win it here, back-to-back, with these kind of playoff performances, RB, he's in the discussion.
And Blaze just won Goalie of the Year again Friday night over at the National Constitution Center at the PLL End of Year Awards. Another great night, part of the biggest weekend in PLL history. At the awards Friday night, street lacrosse yesterday, the Founders Dinner as well. Now the championship, which is shaping up to be a dandy, as O'Keefe misses from 2-point range.
Here's this matchup. Right. Connor Fields and Matt Dunn behind the cage. In Boston, Fields went after Dunn. Today, it's been Dunn blanketing the Star.
We need longer possessions. Chris Bates, Archer's coach, and you're seeing that play out right here.
Spinning it around. Here's Matt Moore, who scored once in the first half. This pass to Ryan Ambler, off the mark, picked up in front by Connor Fields. Fresh 52 for the Archers. Here comes O'Keefe, loads it up. Krebs made the save.
That was terrific goaltending. Krebs goes to a wide base and a low crouch, inviting the high shot, and poof, takes it away at the last second. He baited that
you need rapid fire reflexes and top hand speed to do that one, Quinn.
Against Mac O'Keefe, I mean, that is his sky hook, is the low to high rip. O'Keefe, by the way, playing in his 4th consecutive championship game every year since he entered the league. He started with the Chaos, now with the Archers. Here's his old college teammate, Grant Amen. Some of the fastest feet in the sport. This is Fields up top now against the short stick Bernhardt, under 20 to shoot. Amen matched up with Tim Muller, kind of the unsung hero of this Whipsnakes defense. He gets it to O'Keefe from his knees, and Krebs makes the save. He tried to feed Puglisi on the outlet. It was knocked away, and the Archers maintained possession. This is going to be about 2 minutes on the offensive side.
This is going to tire the Whips out. If Utah could get some subs, which they have now, these are fresh faces on a tired defense.
You got to move your feet on that outlet pass, young goalies. Like a quarterback in the pocket, create your own passing lane. Move your feet on your outlets.
Let's see if Fields can get involved. He's still matched up with Dunn. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, including this season. Now LeClaire. Scored once in the first half. Dunn switches onto him.
Aggressive switch there.
Whipsnakes defensively since the All-Star break have been the best team in the league. O'Keefe gets back to his left hand and bounces it home. 2 goals for Mac O'Keefe, and the Archers strike first in the second half.
It looks like O'Keefe potentially wants to go back to his right hand. He makes this move, and I think the Maryland Whips feel like he's going down the alley, but by keeping it in his left hand and the slick stick protection right here, when he switches it back to his left, he avoids the slide, but also puts it into his strength, his left hand.
Yeah, you could see that slide, just a hair late by Squires. It's just a gassed Whipsnakes defense. Multiple shots, multiple opportunities, and shot clocks on the same possession. It's just too difficult to defend.
First goal in more than 12 minutes for Utah. Nardella wins it cleanly. Right to Glory. Lefty shot saved by Dobson.
This Utah defense is good when the ball is on the floor. Jeffries and Hossack and Woodward. You talk about guys who know how to scoop ground balls off, transition, traffic.
For Nardella to even get that off is pretty remarkable. Not a lot of face-off guys can win it, switch to their offhand, and get a legit shot on net.
And Overbeck turned aside by Krebs. That's 9 saves for Brendan Krebs. So we've talked a lot about Brett Dobson, but Krebs has showed up to this party as well.
Talk about his playoff performance too. A week ago, 17 saves for 65%. If Dobson doesn't play like Dobson last week, he's the goalie story.
What a story he's been. We've talked about the transition and this reload for the Whipsnakes. Kyle Bernlohr is a former goalie of the year in this league, and Brendan Krebs took over that job in week 1 and has not given it up. Here's Heacock. All kinds of space up top. Matched up with Connor Marr.
Heacock wants his left. That's excellent defense by Marr. Right now, the Whipsnakes shooting 5 of 34. The biggest concern when I spoke to Jimmy Stagnino moments ago. 5 for 34.
Here's Malone, sets it up. Conrad, that'll count. I think it does. Brian Conrad's got a hat trick in the championship for the 3rd year in a row.
And all 3 of his goals have come off assists by Malone. So credit Malone with his 3rd apple of the day. And the Whipsnakes were actually substituting behind the play. And so Archers had an extra defender. Malone's gonna get his defender hung up. He's just gonna survey off ball. There's that little pick inside. You can see Heacock, he goes inside, sets a pick for Conrad, who comes off of it, ultra quick release. He gets that in and out of his stick in the blink of an eye. And just too much for Dobson to have to navigate that, plus a defender. Marr was right there, so acted almost as a screen, Gark.
The problem for Utah is Malone has a short stick hung up, so all the eyes of the Utah defense are on Malone behind, 7 and white. Conrad, being the smart lacrosse player he is, knows that's his opportunity to cut. A little bit of a lull, play them a little bit, and then bam, cut.
Sisselberger won the faceoff cleanly. Archers operating in that 32-second shot clock. Moore gets back to his right hand. A step on Zappitello, and he beats Krebs.
When you go early in the shot clock, there's just a little bit more space to operate. And Moore has feasted on those opportunities today. And normally there's a rollback, you expect a slide, but when it's 5-on-5, Clark, there's just a little bit more space to operate.
It's 5-on-5, but it's also Ajax Zappitello who's holding his opponents in the second half of the season to under 20% shooting. So they are putting a lot of confidence in their rookie right there without sliding to him. And Moore knows if you get to the middle of the field and there's no slide help there, look at that angle he's shooting at.
Sisselberger knocked off his spot by Nardella. His pass out of bounds. Great effort in the corner by Moore.
Flag.
You got a flag behind the play.
Whipsnake's foul. Whipsnake's foul number 91. 30-second technical push.
I'll tell you one crazy thing with the Whipsnakes is they've been in power play kill positions all season. Nobody has scored in the power play against the Whips.
Hello, do you need assistance? How do I get this gosling to swim?
Easy. Swim! The Wild Robot is the best animated movie of the year.
You are defective. I feel fine. You should not feel anything.
I want to become more than I was programmed to be.
I am a wild robot.
The Wild Robot, rated PG, in theaters September 27th.
If I was to describe this sandwich in one word, I would say magical. Hi, this is Jamor, and the little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich is that extra oomph. I go back and forth from the spicy filet to the original filet. Personally, I get into the sweetness of the honey. That's what hits first. Then you have the extra kick from the spicy filet, and then you also have the spice of the jalapeno peppers. The combination alone takes it over the top. It's award-winning in my mind.
Real customer paid for their testimonial.
All right, Tina, 6 is hard to beat.
Not for us.
Okay, not soccer, but
Football.
Yes. We honeymooned here.
Mallorca.
Yes. Pass.
Oh, we don't pass, Tina. Come on.
They help give you more.
A tax professional.
And they have a 97% satisfaction rating.
Salami?
You could have done it in a British accent.
That's helpful, Randy.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. Stop.
Leaves of 3, leave them be. Cans of 6, take your pick. And head for the mountains of Bush.
When a child picks up a lacrosse stick, they welcome the wonder of something new. They experience the joy of a sport with so much to give. They gain a community and the lasting friendships it creates. At USA Lacrosse, we believe the sport is an opportunity for families to create a lasting connection and make memories that last a lifetime. Catch the fun and bring a friend to pick up and play. Head to usalacrosse.com/play to find a league near you.
Countdown continues to the Olympics. Tara Davis Woodhall and Hunter Woodhall, two of the stars from the Olympics and Paralympics, and they are out here for the championship. A bunch of A-listers taking in some Premier Lacrosse League action here in the championship. Lacrosse will be there in 2028. It's great to hear Paul Rabel talking last night about how it used to be in the Olympics and now it's coming back. That's where the sport belongs to be, Carl.
Yes, and credit to PLL getting ahead of it too with the Sixes Championship Series in February every year that you've been covering, Ryan. It's a fantastic brand of lacrosse. That's what the format will be in the Olympics, and it is up and down,
positionless.
Oh, yes, it's like hoops lacrosse.
Yes, yes.
Archers to the power play. Best team in the league on the power play this season. The Whipsnakes have not allowed a power play goal all year. Something's got to give. Ament spins, tried to feed O'Keefe. Squires is on it like a Roomba. He picks it up, and the Whips are going to kill another penalty. A flag comes in. Now Maryland's going to go to their own power play once Utah touches the ball.
To be perfect in the regular season and the postseason against a power play is out of this world.
It's incredible.
Never seen that at any level, let alone at the pro level.
You got to give a ton of credit to their defensive coordinator, P.T. Ricci, the job he does with both their scout and scheme.
I also think it's a testament to all those guys coming from the same college, too. They all played at Maryland. It's a terminology.
Foul on Archers, number 13. 1 minute, slash.
It's against Ryan Ambler. He'll sit for a minute. The Maryland power play will take over. The Whipsnakes, by the way, 10 for 10 on the PK in the regular season, the least penalized team by a mile. That's the 7th penalty they've killed off in 3 games now in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's the only concerning part of it, Drew, is just how masterful they did in the regular season, avoiding penalties altogether. But they kept up the production.
You want to
in
know
the
the bad
postseason.
news? The bad news is their power play unit in the regular season was second to last, only 30%. So on the other end, they're really not.
Well,
they're not doing great.
Here's some good news though, Kark, because the Archers the worst penalty kill in the league at 44% during the regular season. Here it is again.
The Whips have improved in the postseason. They're at 67%, so they've been executing these last couple games.
Shannon Chuck for 2, one of the best long-distance shooters in pro lacrosse history. Rambo just kicked it out of bounds. That's Archer's ball.
The shot hit Levi Anderson and then was kicked out of bounds by Rambo.
Rambo, Quint was arguing that it's still a shot. That's why closest to the ball when it goes out of bounds on a shot, he felt like it never changed from a shot trajectory.
I expect the Archers to hang on to it here, kill off their own penalty. Coming up on 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Utah looking to go back-to-back. Maryland trying to win their 3rd championship. It's already been a historic season in the PLL home cities for the first time. There's a switch. Mazzone, the pull onto Ament. Looking for some help from his teammates. Under 15 to shoot. Ament can go as quickly as anyone in the sport. On the rollback outside the arc. The underhand feed. A 2-bomb is on the way in the sub-game from Cam Wires, who came on to play offense. Typically more of a defensive player. Never hit the net, so no shot clock reset. There's the horn. Maryland ball. Don't forget tonight, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, our Sunday night baseball matchup. 2 of the best teams in the NL, the Dodgers and the Braves. Coverage begins with baseball tonight, Sunday night countdown at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. TJ Malone, the rookie, has 3 assists but yet to score. Adam Patra, the other rookie, has 2 goals. At exits Williams. There's Rambo. Lots of space. It was blocked before it got to Dobson. This Archers defense is humming. Fight for the ground ball. Intense, as it should be in a championship game. And Zed Williams comes away with it. No shot clock reset, though, so single digits to shoot. Conrad took a look from 2, and his pass gets through everybody. Archer's ball.
You know, here's the deal. The last 2 games against the Chaos, holding them to 1 goal, 10-1 victory. Now they're up 7-6. Teams are shooting under 10% against the Utah Archers. Yes, a lot has to do with Brett Dobson, but let's credit their perimeter defense. I mean, they are playing shooters as well as you could.
We could also credit their DC, Tony Resch. He's been to this game more than a half dozen times. He is the best defensive coordinator in the pro league by far.
Outdoor and indoor, 4 NLL titles with the Philadelphia Wings. He's a Philly guy. Krebs makes another save.
You know what he dangles on good performances? The defensive unit gets ice cream.
That's right.
It doesn't matter how old you are, you want ice cream.
They each got a carton of ice cream after last week, I think. How do the Whipsnakes attack this defense, RB? Where do they go?
Well, they haven't gotten Anderson going at all. He's got a short stick matchup here. A heavy dose of Anderson or Conrad with that invert game.
Now Rambo playing a little hangman. Looking for the 2-man with Conrad. Rolls back to his right. He wants to get to his left hand. He has the short stick matchup now against Bond. 5 to shoot. Conrad has a hat trick already. He gets a step, shoots. Dobson with a kick save. Conrad had a great look, and Brett Dobson made another stop. Archers are going to go to the power play when the Whipsnakes touch the ball.
Whipsnakes foul. Whipsnakes foul number 9. 30-second technical. Hold.
There you see Rambo comes in with that left hand and just grabs Robbins.
Another superb defensive grounder by a Utah Archer. player. It's Robbins, it's Woodward, it's Jeffries, it's Hossick. These guys are superior on the ground.
Sensing some offensive frustration here on the Whip sideline.
It was a good start for him, 4-1, but they've gone quiet. Another chance on the power play for the Archers. Can the Whips stay perfect on the PK? It's Ament at X. Great stick from Muller. That almost trickled in, but Muller takes the pass away.
You know, that doesn't look like a big play, but that's a huge play by Muller. Stick is always in the right spot at the right time. It's the little things. You're taught that in grade school when you're playing man-down defense, right? Stick in the passing lane, not biting for fakes.
And he had the skip pass and it had gotten through.
Franchise built on fundamentals. It's how they won their first 2 championships. Well, they're in position for another one here. Williams on the jumper, and Dobson tracks it down. It'll be a shot clock reset, 14 saves for Brett Dobson. Now Malone from X against a shorty, Connor Marr.
You got to support this matchup. You got to support it.
On the rollback, Dobson, there's your support. Just let the goalie make his 15th save.
He does such a masterful job of holding that near pipe, forcing his shooter's hand and then exploding.
Game clock, shot clock here.
10-second difference. Here's Patra on the invert. The backhand shovel, and Dobson is dialed in. He picks up the ground ball himself and starts the clear.
Because going early, come back to bite the Whip Snakes. They could have held longer in that clock.
Section 131 is all St. Bonaventure.
Yes, I was just going to say, those are his college boys, and when he picked up that grounder, they were standing.
Last-ditch effort, it'll count. Dyson Williams beats the horn on a great setup from Ryan Ambler.
I asked Kark if going a little early would come back to the Whips, come back and bite him, and it did. Late, 8/10 of a second left. Let's start on the backhand. Patra. Dobson stays big, just eats it.
Yeah, and he flushes out to get that grounder with his entire college teammates. The third-year pro has them on their feet, and then Dyson Williams, you want automatic? This guy has scored over 200 goals in his career at Duke. A magician inside, growing up in Canada. Son of Sean Williams, a box lacrosse legend. He's got the same hands as his old man, and he can sniff out the back of the net.
He's given Utah a 2-goal lead as we go to the 4th quarter. Brett Dobson's been the biggest star again, much to the delight of his college teammates. They're the Bonnies. They're hoping he gets a little revenge against Brendan Krebs, who beat him in the 2022 MAC Championship. They're 12 minutes away from going back-to-back. Archers 8, Whip Snakes 6. We're back after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
All right, let's run that again.
Geico has fast, fair claims 24/7 right on the Geico app.
To file a claim, just tap.
Just tap right here to upload pictures, customer.
Try getting on a first-name basis.
Sure. Vicky.
To track your status, just click. Super easy.
They're connecting with the mannequins.
You're doing great, everyone.
Ooh, you're a pro.
Scroll, tap, scroll. Ouch! Oh, I'm cramping.
Yeah, we've all been there.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
I overdid it. Like a showboat, I just overdid it.
If I was to describe this sandwich in one word, I would say magical. Hi, this is Jamor, and the little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich is that extra oomph. I go back and forth from the spicy filet to the original filet. Personally, I get into the sweetness of the honey. That's what hits first. Then you have the extra kick from the spicy filet. And then you also have the spice of the jalapeno peppers. The combination alone takes it over the top. It's award-winning in my mind.
Real customer paid for their testimonial.
Hello, do you need assistance? do I get this gosling to swim?
Easy. Swim!
The Wild Robot is the best animated movie of the year.
You are defective. I feel fine. You should not feel anything. I want to become more than I was programmed to be. I am a wild robot.
The Wild Robot, rated PG, in theaters September 27.
Wow. This Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear has wavy edges that tear so much better. I'm starting to get tearied away.
Designed with smooth tear edges, Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear has wavy perforations that tear so much better for a smooth, more enjoyable go. Plus, it has more cushiony softness than ordinary squares. Try Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear, voted #1 product of the year.
Take on the day. With Taltz, up to 90% of patients saw a significant improvement of their psoriasis plaques. Some even saw 100% clear skin. And for those with psoriatic arthritis, Taltz reduces joint pain and stiffness. Don't use if you are allergic to Taltz. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. Increased risk of infections and lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about infections, symptoms, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop, worsen, or if you had a vaccine or plan to. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Ask your doctor about Taltz.
Let's go under the helmet, powered by Cash App.
You got your family up there? Where they at? All right, Levi. Let's do this. Let's go. Come on. They're done. Let's go. Play free. Play fast, baby. You're the best here. Yeah. Come on. Go. Good job. Keep going. Zed. How do they score?
Kind of we stopped like an initial transition, and then O'Keefe just got in the top lost.
We got to get to the box faster.
Oh yeah, damn right we do.
I thought my righty was going to go there.
Welcome back to the PLL Cash App Championship on ESPN. Matt Rambo and the Whip Snakes. They've gone cold offensively. He scored the first goal of this game just 26 seconds in. He hasn't scored since in this Utah Archers defense, which held the Carolina Chaos to 1 goal last week, has put the clamps on. Nardella wins it forward, scoops it up behind the back feed, but Williams couldn't handle the pass. And that'll be Archer's ball.
It was a great hustle play there by John Robbins, 41 in orange, from the face-off wing to sprint down to get to Williams.
Ament brings it across. Shaping up to be another tight one in the championship. The last two have been one-possession games decided by 2 goals or less. A couple years ago, the Water Dogs beat the Chaos 11-9, and last year it was these Archers over the Water Dogs 15-14. Moore feeds. LeClaire scores. Largest lead of the afternoon. Second goal for Trey LeClaire, and it's 9-6 Utah.
He found his spot again, RB. That's where he wants to live.
It's a 2-man game. Beautiful action between Moore and LeClaire. You're going to see Grant Ament. He's just going to be the flyby guy that frees it right here. This is where you're going to get the 2-man game between Moore and LeClaire. You're going to get this double team come over as Moore carries here, and there's going to be a huge area vacated behind the play. That's what LeClaire exploits. So there's the double team. Moore throws it back. Tons of space for LeClaire, who buries it.
There was a funny sound as he took this shot, kind of a ping. I think it may have hit, partially deflected off that approaching defender stick, but a beautiful setup. And that's LeClaire's absolute wheelhouse. Feet set from 12 yards, turn and rake.
Yeah, it's teammates understanding, too, how to get him to a spot. One time it was on a lefty dodge by Connor Fields, knowing the double would come. This time it's on a 2-man game. They know the end result, Trey LeClaire in his spot.
No midfielder scored more goals this season than Trey LeClaire. You called him underrated, Clark.
I mean, it's like embarrassing to say it, right? Because he's so good.
Former attackman at Ohio State. Played some D-Midi just to stick on this roster, and with Schreiber out for the year, LeClaire starting midfielder. O'Keefe.
That's
it's
filthy.
a hat trick.
That's filthy.
Oh yeah. Mac O'Keefe with the silky mitts. 10-6 Utah.
We've seen 2 goals now in the last 4 minutes by automatic finishers. Dyson Williams and Mac O'Keefe. Magical hands, soft palms, and they take that extra beat with a fake. When you watch this goal, you think that he's going to have to shoot the ball when he first catches right there, but he knows if he takes an extra beat, he can get it across his face with a fake into a twister.
I mean, you think he's going to shoot right away, and then maybe he'll throw one fake. His hands are so quick, he gets 2 fakes in there to get Krebs off his line.
And leaving his feet also allowed him to get it around Krebs' body. There is 4 years in a row. He leaves Penn State as the all-time leading goal scorer in college lacrosse history. That was broken by the Atlas rookie Peyton Cormier. But 4 summers in a row, he finds himself back playing for it all.
The Whips led 4-1 after the first quarter. It's 9-2. Archer 6. Nardella spins out of trouble with that abbreviated shot clock. Now just 20 to shoot from Maryland. Where do they find offense against this stiff Utah defense? Patra's got 2 goals today. He misses that time. 12 to shoot.
Quint, what are you sensing down there where they feel like they need to get the offense from?
That's a good question. Earlier, Jimmy Stagnita told me it was about shooting. Coach, how do you change things up offensively? What needs to change? Okay, when you do have the ball, what needs to change? Shooting.
It's a shot clock violation. 13 turnovers against the Whips. Jim Stagnita. Moments like this, man, a few words. His team trails by 4, but they were in a similar situation last week on Long Island. They trailed by 3 with under 5 minutes to play against the Atlas. The win probability was like 6 or 7%. They came back to force overtime and come out with the W. This is Connor Fields. He still hasn't scored today. And the Archers still leading by 4. 3 minutes into this 4th quarter. Up top, it's Moore. A couple of goals for him. Just possessed by Zapatello, and Moore hits the deck, and Ajax comes away with it. A first-round pick this year by the Whips, former Terp. He starts the break. Malone stops and pops and missed the net.
Those are the looks that they normally bury.
Bodies hit the deck, and Dobson saves the shot by Zed. Another clean save for the Canadian. Starts the break. Bond on the setup for O'Keefe, and they'll settle it down.
Oh, Bond had Ament flying out of the box.
Do you think they're trying to take their foot off the gas here, RB?
It's a little too early to do that, and it's, I mean, KYP, know your personnel. You got Ament. It's not like you're throwing it to a guy that can't finish the rock. Oh boy.
Sailing, looping pass. Muller on the ground ball pickup. Gets it away to Williams.
Can they bury their shots, as Jim Stagnita said? Shooting 6 for 45, 13%. On a good day, you want to be around 30%. This has been rough sailing for the Maryland Whips.
Jim Stagnita said it this week. Matt Rambo, he's still the guy you go to when you really need a goal, and they need one now. Heacock is going to get flagged, going the other way. Heacock trying to set the screen for his former college teammate. Flag for the illegal screen. Each of the last 3 seasons in the PLL, the champion from the previous year has lost in the championship game. Archer's trying to buck that trend and go back-to-back. Maryland scoreless for now more than 12 minutes. It's a 4-0 run for Utah. Here's LeClaire as the shorty matchup against Jacobois. Now Fields floats topside. Against the Defensive Player of the Year, Matt Dunn. Fields can't get his hands free. LeClaire feeds the crease, and Krebs makes the save. There's Van Overbeck right on the doorstep. Jacobois clears.
I think the hard thing for the Whipsnakes now in their comeback is Archers are going to be ultra conservative offensively and in their sub game, making sure they have defensive personnel on the field, really forcing the play 6-on-6.
And they can pack it in defensively and ride Dobson down the stretch.
Malone looking for an outlet from X. Woodward picks him up. Malone shoots off the mark. Backed up by Williams, 17 on the timer. Maryland in the regular season, 9 two-point goals, which was middle of the pack in the PLL. Williams, count it! They were calling for a award. Sometimes Zed is just too big.
He got one.
Don't count him out just yet.
Yeah, he finally got one. I said it at halftime.
Don't count him out just yet, Card.
Yeah, 36 had to come to the party. Second in the league in goals. The wizard known as Zed Williams uses his body. The Whips are down 3, but they're knocking.
Okay, trainees, let's work on our fast and friendly claim service.
Eyes on the phone now.
Look alive, Drew.
Your repairs have been scheduled.
Nice.
Yes, you'll get a rental car on site.
Heads up. Oh, I'm gonna turn this down to an 8. My bad.
We can do this all day. Geico claim service is 24/7. Nice catch.
Your claim has been approved.
Your claim has been approved.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
New DQ Fall Blizzard menu. Returning pumpkin pie and French silk pie. This lineup is the GOAT.
Taco?
No, like the greatest of all treats kind of goat. Hurry in before they're gone. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Hello. Here's a free sticker. Scan the code and receive 10% off of your... I'm an advanced robotic helper. Do you need assistance?
Huh.
Did you know I can assist with grocery shopping, banking, landscaping? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate my performance? I will register that as a 10.
The Wild Robot, rated PG, in theaters September 27.
This is a flashback to last year's championship game. The Archers got the game winner from Tom Schreiber, the MVP, and then the most clutch save in PLL history from Brett Dobson on Jake Carraway. That would have given the Water Dogs the lead. Instead, the Archers celebrate their first title in franchise history, 15-14. And Chris Bates said it this week, guys. It's still ours until they rip it out of our hands. A lot of people are on the Whipsnakes coming in. Maryland with a 6-game win streak. They're smoking hot. They're former champs. Archers missing their best player, Tom Schreiber. They're in pole position here, up by 3 with 6 minutes left.
Yeah, and I think you look at the playoff picture, the big picture. You know, is the bye a good thing or not? Do you want to keep things rolling? For them, I think it was great. You know, having one less game without Schreiber to be able to punch their ticket to the championship. Like, look, we only need to win one without Tommy to get here. And to do it without Tom, I think speaks volumes about the infrastructure of this program. Obviously, defensively, you know, holding chaos to just 1 goal, and now the Whipsnakes to 7.
But do not count out the Maryland Whipsnakes. They were down 3 with under 6 minutes to play against the top-seeded Atlas last week. They came back, tied it, and won it in overtime. Zed Williams just got to the board. Malone was hit before the ball got there. It's a turnover. 15 of them against the Whips. Archers in transition. Krebs is out of his net, makes a save. He made a save 8 yards away from the goal. Gave it right to Fields, and he makes them pay. Welcome to the party, Connor Fields.
What a crazy sequence. Insane action here. So again, Archers have got a player wide open from the sub-box. Krebs decides to take matters in his own hands. Tries to get rid of it right there.
Oh, Fields comes up with it. Looks like O'Keefe maybe disrupted that assist, or that outlet rather. And Fields, right place, right time.
When Krebs makes that stop, I'm about to say, mark it down, mark it down. But like a defender, Quinn, as a goalie, you never want to throw to the middle of the field when you're being pressured on the defensive end.
That's the classic good play, bad play scenario. He makes such an educated move from his crease to become that extra defender to stop the attack, and then it kind of panics on the backhanded outlet. You got to move your feet. You got to run yourself out of trouble. You can't take chances in front of your own goal.
And Dunn had run into the goal to play goalie with Krebs out. It looks like he almost got in his way as he tried to make that save on Fields. So it's back to a 4-goal lead. Rambo from X. Conrad couldn't stuff it. Peacock has it. Under 5 to shoot. Rambo back at X. The crease dive. No goal. They said he stepped in.
You know the Whip Snakes are going to be staring at their iPads, getting out those tablets as quickly as possible to see if there's something here. Left side of your screen on the game flow.
Ooh, that's so close.
I think it's worth a challenge either way.
Yes.
You got 30 seconds.
Unless it's an obvious one.
They would lose a timeout if they lose the challenge.
Who cares at this point? The goal's worth more. At this point in time in the game, that goal could be worth more.
Stagnita has opted not to challenge. O'Keefe from the wing.
It has no chance of being overturned.
Early sub by Utah now, rotating some defensive personnel on. Still with 15 to go in the shot clock.
Right. Get a couple of defensive players on. Robbins will play offense. For the moment, they just throw it away.
He ditched that ball with like 8 seconds left to go.
It didn't go over well, RB. Did not go over well on the bench.
They lead by 4 with under 4 minutes to play. Here's Conrad dodging from up top. That's a timeout for the Whip Snakes with 3:34 to play. Jim Stagnita has 1 timeout remaining. I'll step aside for 30 seconds.
Time winding down, and the stakes could not be higher.
This might be the biggest moment of his life, Anish.
Actually, with Better.com's low interest rates and easy digital process, I'm already pre-approved for my home loan.
Alchemy from Trevor Baptiste.
The king of speed when it matters most.
Guys, it's easy. Fast and easy from anywhere. Visit Better.com.
All right, so the Whip Snakes did not challenge. Rambo being in the crease. RB, take us through this.
Yeah, you're going to see Rambo as he comes from behind the cage. As we zoom in here, you can see that white cleat. It looks like...
From that angle.
From that angle, it looks pretty clear.
Yeah, he's in the crease.
Yeah.
Live action, I'm saying to myself, is it worth the challenge? Because the goal at that point in time.
I don't know if there's another angle that shows something else. From that angle,
the ball clearly crosses the plane before he lands. It's all about the foot there.
It's a great call by the official to see that live. You see the 2-point shots for Jim Stagnita's team. They're 0 for 7 today. This is still technically a 2-possession game.
Utah will switch on all picks outside the arc. They're very, very conscious of the 2-point shot right now, according to Tony Wrench, their DC.
See what the Whips drew up in the timeout. Here's Chanachuk, makes the catch. He's on the crease, and he stuffs it past Dobson. And the comeback kids do it again. Chanachuk, the veteran, is on the board.
This is just a beautifully designed play. They're going to get a little inside-out action. So Rambo's going to carry upfield, freeze it right here. You're going to TJ Malone. He's going to flash here. Rambo's going to hit him inside. Off your screen is Chanachuk. He's going to flash back door to all that open area. And then TJ Malone's going to hit him with that pass right there. So a little inside-out action. There's the back door by Chanachuk. Beautifully designed play coming out of the timeout. by Jim Stagnita and offensive coordinator Drew Snyder.
They stole that one from Notre Dame. That's a play we saw this spring.
Yeah, I love that, Quint, because you have two players in unison, right? Chuck starts moving at the same exact time that Malone does when he gets the pass.
That play's been around for longer than this past spring, just for what it's worth.
Quint was referring to Notre Dame.
I know what he's referring to.
Yeah, Chris Kavanaugh finishing those shots.
That play has been run for years and years and years. Good Aris Barra, great artist.
It's like the mumbo. When it works, it works.
Every faceoff so critical right now. Whipsnakes violated there, so it's Archer's ball as we cross 3 minutes to play.
Yeah, this game is coming down to shooting. I mean, the Whips are shooting 15%. The Archers are at 32%. Canning their shots. Can Maryland hunt to 2 and bury their shots, but they're dealing with Dobson on the other end.
Yeah, he's a big reason why. 45's got 16 saves. Shot clock is down to 5. Archer's content to kill some of it as Amet dumps it into the corner. They'll set up their ride.
And why that matters is the game clock keeps going despite the shot clock violation.
Good call.
So that 8 seconds earlier, he threw it so early. Right now, at this a juncture in the game, not only do you get the shot clock juice, you get the residual juice from them picking up the ground ball.
Coming up on 2 minutes left in the fourth. Here's Zed Williams. Chuck sets the screen. Williams a wild shot.
You do have Joe Nardella. So my feeling is if you have a good one opportunity, don't press it 2 right away.
TJ Malone has 4 assists today, up to 50 points as a rookie. Just 2 away from the rookie record in outdoor lacrosse. Held by our guy Ryan Boyle and Mikey Powell. Here's Chuck, their best threat from 2. Takes the lefty shot inside the arc. Malone runs it down, 10 seconds left.
Chuck's their best outside shooting presence, 1 in white to hunt to 2.
5 on the timer, great check. Archer's ball, they take it away from the rookie of the year, TJ Malone. It was the former defensive player of the year, Graham Hossack. 17 turnovers for the Whipsnakes. And now you start doing the math. $1:15 to play.
Yeah, you got to start pressing out here. You got to start forcing the issue. You're going to see Krebs leave the crease.
Krebs playing defense. They will double team the ball. 1 minute left. Archers by 3. Ambler tries to swim out of trouble and draws the flag. It'll go on Puglisi. Ryan Ambler, the veteran, what a smart play. Alley-oop for O'Keefe. There's the hat trick for Mac O'Keefe. And it should be the dagger.
It will be. And now, if you start to zoom out.
Good goal on the play. Had a hold against the Whipsnakes. He gets wiped out. All even face-off.
And as you start to zoom out now, Kark, I think you've got to start talking about this Archer's defensive performance in the postseason in historical context.
Yes, and props to Tony Resch and Chris Bates, because at the end of last season, their starting defense looked drastically different than this lineup. Matt McMahon retires. You have injuries to starters. Graham Hossack, week 1's not even there. He's not on the roster. So you think about the first weekend of the season up in Albany. This defense didn't look remotely close to it. Mason Woodward now has become a mainstay. The growth of this defense, to me, is the story. Everyone thinks, oh, they won it last year. They're back at it with their defense. Well, guess what? It took time, and it's been a beautiful thing to watch.
And that man is the backstop. Brett Dobson makes his 17th save. The shot clock is off, and the Archers can coast to a back-to-back championship.
And you can hear the St. Bonaventures, the Bonnies, they're chanting MVP after that last save by Dobson.
He's going to have about 40 guys at the post-game tailgate tonight. I hope he's got his wallet.
The celebration is on. It's still theirs until someone rips it out of their hands. The Archers are champions again. So Karkin, a year of change in the PLL. Home cities for the first time. Everything feels different. One thing remains the same. The Archers stand alone.
It was a different story, though, in 2024. A year ago, on this very day, they rode the back of Tom Schreiber, the greatest player in lacrosse. A midfielder that we will speak about for generations to come. He actually was a central piece of this championship in a different way, and I'll tell you why. His team wanted to rally behind him and win for their captain because they know what he means to this franchise, but they also wanted to tell every other person out there that didn't think they could win without him that we are a team.
Last year, everyone said you can't win the championship without Connor Fields and without Latrell Harris, and they did. Today, you can't win without Tom Schreiber, and they did.
Mike Sisselberger, he's 2 for 2 with the bleach blonde hair. He did it again in the playoffs, and now he's walking away with the WWE belt. The guy who was a wrestler in high school and college. Sisselberger is 2 for 2. He won it as a rookie, and now he's won it again in his second year. Mac O'Keefe had a hat trick. He's downstairs with Q.
How do you describe this massive teammates in this celebration, now back-to-back champions?
It's just a culmination of everything, right? We've battled through injuries, we've battled through some adversity, and losing Tom was a big hit for us, but we had guys step up, especially Ryan Ambler, step into that leadership role and carried us from there.
How did you convince yourself that you could win without him?
I think, you can't replace a guy like that, obviously. He's like one of the best players in the world, but everybody has to pull their weight a little bit more. Not do too much, but just pull a little bit more and give that group effort. So I think that's what we were able to do the last few games.
Slow start today. You almost got dusted early in this game. It didn't get away from you. What changed offensively? What perked up?
I think, honestly, from prior experience I've had, I always know it's going to be a close game. We're going to level it out at some point, but we had to figure it out. So we knew we had to get to around 12 goals to make this in our favor, and we were able to do that. But yeah, everybody's just pulling their own weight and came out with the win.
Your goalie put up saran wrap in the playoffs and wouldn't let anyone score on him. How do you characterize the play of Brett Dobson?
It's unbelievable. Honestly, it's terrible going against it in practice. So, but yeah, I mean, I actually broke his head before the game, so he was using Nick Lasciuta's stick.
Backup stick.
Yeah, so that was pretty wild, but you wouldn't be able to tell. He was lights out for us.
Mac, thank you. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you, Quinn.
Drew.
Last 2 weeks for Brett Dobson, semifinals and championship, combined 35 saves, 9 goals allowed. That's sick.
Mind-numbing when you think about it.
He's got at least 17 saves in all 4 career playoff games.
They talk about quarterbacks in football. Your legacy is defined by big play on the biggest stages. He's now a back-to-back champion, making ridiculous stops in last season's championship game, and then the playoff run, specifically in the semifinals and the finals, historic.
And it's not like you see a lot of routine saves, right? He sees a lot of rubber, He led the regular season in terms of number of saves. So he sees a lot of shots, and he bails out these defense when there are breakdowns. But again, like defensively, you gave up 1 goal to Carolina last week, and you're wondering a little bit of like, okay, well, how much was that of Archer's defense and how much was that with Carolina's offense? I mean, this Whipsnakes offense, it's a different task, and they were up to it, holding them to just 8 goals. I mean, we thought that they would win if it was a slugfest, right? They held them to 8 and put up 12.
He makes shooters think, right? Last week, Carolina was like 1 for 40 shooting, right? 1 for 40. That's a combination of a lot of things. Maybe some poor decisions, pressing down the stretch. But at the end of the day, when you know you're shooting at a goalie that is that hot, as an offensive player, you start thinking a little bit. You try to shoot perfect.
Kid from Oshawa, Ontario, who was the first player to commit to St. Bonaventure after the program was revived. He had an unbelievable college career. Chris Bates and the Archers drafted him 12th overall a couple of years ago, and they've won 2 championships in a row since then. Q's on the field with Connor Mark.
Connor, we're talking to a short stick defensive midfielder who just won a championship. How do you best describe what the defense was able to do in the semis and today in the finals?
I mean, obviously it starts down low with Brett Dobson. He's the best goalie in the world. He's the best goalie I've ever seen. And then it's the 3 down low guys, right? Hasek is just an eliminator. Warren just goes out there and does his thing.
And Woody has just been an absolute stud as a rookie, doing his thing in transition, getting us going early. And then the rope unit, we just try to do our best to hold these middies down. We come out there with Resh's game plan, and we just try to lock it down and do our thing, and it's been successful towards the end of the year. What was most critical to Tony Resh's game plan? Just taking away what they like to do, right? They like to go into those single inverts. A lot of guys with some pretty strong hands, right? Make it uncomfortable for them, and give Dauber shots he likes to see, and when he gets shots he wants to see, he's pretty unstoppable. Thank you, Connor. You got a trophy to receive. Drew.
All right, Quinn. The celebration is on. It's deja vu all over again. The Archers celebrating here in Philadelphia. Back-to-back champions in the PLL. Before the celebration, let's toss it over to our public address announcer, Jake Zimmer.
Fans, please direct your attention to the field and join us in welcoming Shea Cornett for our PLL Cash App Championship Trophy presentation.
Thank you, Jay. And now to present the 2024 Cash App PLL Championship Trophy, we say hello to CEO and co-founder Mike Rabel.
Thank you, Shay. What an amazing game. Thank you to all PLL fans. You are truly the best fans in all of sports. I want to quickly recognize and congratulate Coach Stagnita and the Maryland Whipsnakes on an unbelievable season and an unbelievable legacy your program has built. I also want to thank our partners. We can't do this without you. I want to thank ESPN, Ticketmaster, Whirlpool, and Cash App for your support. And now, I want to introduce your back-to-back 2024 PLL champions, the Utah Archers!
We're going to talk to Chris Bates here for a minute now, really quick, as he wipes his eyes with the champagne. All right, back-to-back champions. I heard you say earlier this week it's ours until someone takes it away, and no one is taking it away just yet, at least not for another year. Just talk about your team and the accomplishment this is to be back-to-back champs.
Yeah, we're proud to be able to hold the trophy for another year. What's up, Philly? Here we go, baby! It's just an unbelievable group of guys. It's a close-knit bunch, made tons of sacrifices. All our family and friends, we love you for all you do for us, so it's an exciting time for this organization.
Of course, and it's been talked about a lot during the broadcast, but you lose Tom Schreiber, your captain, and yet able to overcome it and then some with just a by-committee approach. Talk about this team's resilience throughout the year.
Well, we play for Tom. He's got his fingerprints all over this organization, so it's near and dear to us, and at the end of the day, you know, we preach next guy up, and, you know, having an ability to share the ball, play team defense, and it's a great team win overall.
That's a perfect place to go. The team defense, my goodness. How about your goalie, Brett Dobson? Last line of defense, and the way he was able to just stop throughout the postseason any goal from going in that net. What can you say?
Hey, big goal, big game goalie. There's nothing like it, man. He stands on his head. Yeah, give him the MVP. He deserves it. Get MVP.
We're going to get to the MVP. Really quick, we're going for a three-peat, I assume. We're going for a three-peat now.
No doubt, man. We're all coming back.
Yeah.
We'll be back next year, everyone. Let's do it.
Love it. All right, speaking of the MVP trophy, let's now welcome co-founder and president Paul Rabel to present it.
Hello, Philly. Congratulations to the Utah Archers on an amazing season. It sounds like it was no surprise. Back-to-back champions. We've never had back-to-back championship game MVPs until today. 17 saves, Brett Dobson.
I know he wants to celebrate, so I'm going to make this quick. Paul just said it. Back-to-back MVPs, back-to-back champions. Just put this into words really quick.
Words can't describe how good this feels to be here with my teammates and to do this again and repeat it. It's always the hardest thing is to do is repeat. And we faced a lot of adversity this year with Tom going down and a lot of other guys going down as well that couldn't be here today. But at the end of the day, it's about the guys in the locker room, and we did a hell of a job winning this. And I couldn't be here without them. And my defense in front of me did a hell of a job and let me see shots I want to see.
I had talked to a couple of your teammates on SportsCenter a few times, and they had told me you being the last line of defense really provides a lot of security. And so how much pride do you take in that your team knows they can count on you in moments like this?
I mean, I take a lot of pride in that, but as well, going the other way, we got one of the best offenses in the league, and I think that, they give me just as much confidence as I do in them, so I'm really grateful for that.
I'm going to ask you what I asked your coach. We're going for the three-peat now, I assume, right?
Hell yeah, of course we are.
All right, good. Congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yes. Okay, now the money part of this thing. Let's get to it. Let's join me in welcoming two-time Olympian and gold medalist Tara Davis-Woodall, three-time Paralympian and gold medalist Hunter Woodall for a special presentation. Guys, go ahead and take it away.
Thanks, Shay. We'd like to thank our partners, the PLL and the Cash App and Visa partners.
And Cash App and Visa are presenting the champions, the Utah Archers, with a $50,000 check.
And so the Utah Archers get to celebrate with an additional $50,000 thanks to Cash App. Cash App Championship, PLL, what a day in Philadelphia. Back-to-back champions, the Utah Archers.
All right, Shay, they have done it again. And again, I go back to what you said, RB. It's such a good point. Last year, no Fields, no Harris. This year, no Schreiber. What is it about this group that allows them to lose some of the best players on the planet and still win it all?
Yeah, I think about their coaching staff, and I think about Chris Bates and what he does schematically on the offensive end, and it's right near the top of the league. And then you look at Tony Resch. No one has won at the professional level more than Tony Resch. And whether it's a head coach, assistant coach, just no one has.
That's
okay?
4 outdoor and 4 indoor.
Even more, but no one has. Okay, just no one. So if you want to have a lockdown D, he's the guy. And then, not to be overlooked, Kavanaugh runs an incredible substitution box and what they're able to generate in terms of advantages there. So you look at those 3 phases of the game, you start there, and then you drip down to the culture. And that's where Tom Schreiber, I think, really has established exactly what it means to be an Archer. And then when they draft guys, right, they trust their draft, their scouting process, and when they draft a guy, they put him in, and they let him make mistakes. They don't say, okay, you're going to play for a game and we're going to see what happens. We're going to pull you out. They draft you, they play you, and if you make a few mistakes, they let you grow into that role.
Well, we talked about Tony Resch, their defensive coordinator, who's on the field with Q.
Coach, congratulations. An amazing job when we reflected on the Albany weekend and what this looked like at the beginning of the year. Where do you think things transformed the most?
Great question. We have such veteran leadership. Just feel like it takes a little bit of time. We have 2 brand new pieces with Bo and Woody coming in, so I'm not practicing every day. I used to that as a high school or college coach, so I feel like probably about mid-season, Denver, I think we really threw a little bit of a switch, but it's just a process, and it's hard to speed the process because you're together so infrequently, but we do Zoom calls. The guys are incredibly good about asking questions, especially the young guys. And when you have senior leaders like Grammer and Warren Jeffrey to kind of help those young guys along. And I mean, it's weird to think that Piper and Connor Marr are veterans. They're in their second year. Sometimes I forget that. But yeah, we're just blessed to have some guys that work hard, they listen, they learn.
Is the right headline Archer's defense propels Dobson to spectacular heights, or is it Dobson propels Archer's defense to spectacular heights?
Well, you're a keeper, former keeper, so I would defer to you, but I think it's kind of a perfect balance. Dobber's very clear about you know, there's certain shots he does not mind seeing, and we try to do that in the scout in terms of like this player and this spot on the field. We want to try and take that away, and if we get him, you know, to his offhand or to certain spaces on the field, he's comfortable with those shots. So his input in terms of how we want to defend certain guys is a huge piece of the puzzle. But yeah, I think that they're equal parts, I guess I would say. Goaltending. Great.
A little bit of a slow start today. The first 5 minutes nearly got unraveled on you, and then you guys found yourself. When did you feel comfortable?
When the final buzzer went, I guess comfortable. And, I just felt in the third quarter we established ourselves, but after we got through that rocky start, the one great thing about our group is nobody gets like panicky or they come off and we made a couple mistakes and we said, okay, here's what happened there, and we say, okay, good, we kind of learn from that one and try and keep building and not let those mistakes happen. And they're great. I mean, obviously Stags and his staff do an amazing job with the Whip Snakes. That's a really tough group to deal with, so couldn't be more proud of our guys to hang in there.
That mentality comes from you, Coach. Congratulations. You got another ring. I don't know where you're putting it. Do we get ice cream tonight, Coach? Do we get ice cream?
Yeah, we got another ice cream, no doubt. I took him to Reading Terminal Market today for a little taste of, or yesterday for a little taste of Philly for last week's performance. That was a tough one to top, but we'll take today's effort anytime.
Congratulations, Coach. Ice cream.
Thank you, Q. All that guy does is win, and there's your boy Fields.
Yeah, there's Connor Fields and his wife and his baby, Finn, who I think is about 7-8 months, taking in his first PLL championship. You know what's kind of telling and fitting for me is I listened to your words about roster construction and the draft and how Bates and Resch piece everything together, and then I listened to Quint's conversation with him, and we use that word process so much in sports. Their process comes down to one word: patience.
Yeah.
That's it. It's patience.
Patience and trust.
Yeah,
you know,
and patience comes
that.
with trust, and trust comes with patience.
It's an amazing run for the Utah Archers. Back-to-back PLL championships. You can wear that belt, Mike Sisselberger. All you've done is win since you've entered the league. It's been a phenomenal summer. Thanks for spending it with us. For Ryan Boyle, Paul Carcaterra, Quint Kesnick, and our entire crew, which has done a fantastic job all season, led by Todd Jones and Brent Lancaster. I'm Drew Carter saying so long from Philadelphia. Mr. Philly, Chris Bates has another ring. The Utah Archers have gone back-to-back. Congratulations to them and all their fans, your 2024 PLL champions. Thanks for watching the PLL all season long on ABC and ESPN.